Hello and welcome to the first stream of the Nightfall Crystal League season. We just actually started the season. This is the very first game. I'm Dietver, and with me is Don't Know Jack.
That's me.
And so
Happy to be here to get this league started off right.
it'll be interesting to see these two teams play since I believe, they're both pretty much completely new teams. A couple of players from last season, but overall, just something that is interesting to see, especially with all of the meta shifts in the last month or two. You think we're going to see anything super crazy out of them?
Not sure. I know that the meta has calmed down a little bit. It's better than it was about a month ago, but we do still see some of the, crazy bot lane strats, and thankfully, in my opinion at least, Funnel's dead, so hopefully we won't see any of that.
Yeah, that'll be... It'll be really interesting to watch most of the players, not play the game and just watch them shovel the gold into Master Yi.
Yeah, but I would like to see our own version of how some of the mage bot lanes that are getting popular, the Swains and Brands, match up to the traditional marksman bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, so I haven't played a ton recently because the new meta makes me kind of sad, but it seems like the bot lane... Oh, we are in Champ Select. Let's get that up and going here. Unfortunately, I forgot which teams are on which side, so those team names are in the wrong spot for now.
So it looks like we've got Skyward leading off with some mid bans. We'll see if they continue to... Nope, looks like they might be sniping some power picks for individual players. It doesn't seem like they're trying to pile on all their bans onto the same person.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you have the opportunity to scout the other team, usually, unless something's really, really OP or strong, it's better to just try to take away something that they play really well or that counters the team comp you want to play.
Right. The more uncomfortable you can make your opponent, the better.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we've got 3 bans coming from Skyward on the 3 separate roles.
Yeah, it's some good distribution. The Warwick ban, I'm a little surprised to see. Like, I love Warwick, but I don't think he's that powerful right now, though he is a very decent early game jungler still.
I'm not sure if maybe it is like a heavy preference from Canadian champ, but I definitely also am not too sure about the Warwick ban. He tends to be rather predictable with how his W functions.
Yeah, you can definitely see him coming a mile away, but at the same time, there's that psychological edge of you can hear him running at you, and if you're low health, you're not getting away.
That's true. I'm curious to see if the Swain lock-in is going to be for Skyward's mid or bot, or, I mean, even for the top. He's a high priority because you can flex him 3 ways.
Yep, but taking away the Morgana is a blow right to his bot lane matchup. Swain Morgana is really strong. You land once you see, you chain them out, and you've got a lot of burst damage to kill the squishy ADC or support. But they take him away. Black Shield's pretty good to counter. Though I will say, Phoenix Rising over here on the right does have a much better club synergy. 4 members of their team are on the same club compared to Skyward Academy. Nobody's in the same club.
That is true. They don't all seem to be in there. That one might be on me for not making sure everybody's in the club.
So it looks like, yeah, Jin is definitely bot lane. You get hit, yeah, same idea as a Swain. You get hit by one thing, you get CC'd into oblivion and hopefully burst it out.
It's definitely a really lethal bot lane.
I would normally have said Fiddlesticks is a troll, but he's actually a somewhat competent support now.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure how that matchup goes into the Morgana, but I imagine it's pretty good as far as most of the Morg counter matchups, just because the fear is instant, so there's no real way for her to reactively deny the fear.
Nope, but on the other hand, he can bait out Black Shield really easily by just fearing walking up and fearing or just walking up, and then Black Shield's 20-second cooldown at level 1, fear's like 8. That
Not
gives you a lot of
quite sure
play
how long the
opportunity.
Fiddle Fear is, but I'm pretty sure it's shorter than the Black Shield. That's for sure. That's a very long cooldown.
Nocturne, they're doubling up on the fear. It's gonna so that is definitely a Fiddle support. Nocturne jungle, very aggressive dually jungler, got some global presence, and then J4 to counter.
Definitely a spooky team coming from the Skyward side. Interesting interaction that Jarvan has with a lot of Spell Shield champs is his knockup is almost unblockable because his Q will break Spell Shields when he casts it. So you can't block the knockup; you just end up blocking the Q damage.
If Morgana's maxing her shield, though, the Jarvan's E is his flag is his only magic damage, and that shouldn't be enough to break the shield. If Morgana maxes that and not like binding first, which I think is standard for support Morgana now.
Not sure if she max. I think up until recently, I know the more bot lane meta was to W max to get the hard shove, but I'm not sure if that is still the meta now that things have calmed down a little bit with the off meta bot lanes.
Camille top banned out. Darius banned out. A lot of top lane bans. Garen Darius, no spinning to winning here.
Interesting to me that both teams seem to be trying to hold their top lane picks for absolute counter. From the looks of it, they're banning out tops and holding their top picks respectively, unless of course the Swain is a top pick. I suppose the Jarvan also could be, but I doubt either of them are top laners.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a sign of respect or a sign of the team's feeling that top lane is their weakest spot, so they want to get a good matchup. But on the other hand, there goes Phoenix Rising just grabbing the Ornn immediately for top lane, looking to pick a very straightforward team fighting comp between the J4 Ornn engage and Jhin shooting in the back.
They're holding their mid for the final counter pick, but we'll get to see what Skyward decides they want to play into the Ornn. Between Ornn and J4, they definitely have quite a bit of engage, and their follow-up from Jhin is very strong as well.
Sion, that is a not so great matchup for Sion usually.
I haven't seen Sion since he got nerfed real hard after he was broken, really, for a long time. They fixed his E, and I know he got buffs this patch, but I'm not sure if those were enough to bring him back into meta.
Even when he was strong, Ornn was a good pick into him. Because percent health damage on the W, you have the opportunity to dash away from any CC, and the shield will allow you to eat some of the poke. And so, like, Ornn can stand with Sion in lane. So with Sion getting nerfed, I think that is a Ornn favored matchup overall.
So it definitely shows us that the Swain originally was picked for the mid lane, or at least it ended up landing in the mid lane. I find the Tristana pick a little interesting. She doesn't have a lot of protection on her team, and they're going into a really lethal bot lane between the Jhin and the Morgana.
She has 0 protection. Fiddle has a fear, but Fiddle's also really squishy, so he can't really stay up there. Unless it's a Sion support. No, they're not. They're trading. Yeah, that would have been really troll. I would have enjoyed it. But yeah, so Swain's not going to peel. He's going to be going in. Nocturne's not going to peel. He's going to be diving in. Sion's not going to peel. He's going to dive in. Fiddle's going to jump in with ult. So you're going to rely entirely on Tristana self-peeling with her range, her W, and her knockback. But those aren't really necessarily very reliable, particularly into REJ4.
Yeah, especially with the easily countered Tristana leap and the reduction to her range at level 1 and level 2 since they nerfed her. She actually gets outranged by the Jhin at level 1, which leaves her very, very vulnerable if she can't get lane priority. And Jhin and Morgana hit level 2 and look for a kill.
I would expect Jhin and Morgana to get the push on first. I don't think there's a situation where Trist Fiddle. Maybe if Fiddle really zones out hard with his Dark Winds, gets the bounces going, they might be able to, but...
I think they have the damage to do so, but it's really difficult, and also they have to really respect the Jarvan level 2 buff straight into gank, because J4 can absolutely just start blue buff or red buff and go straight bot lane, while Nocturne absolutely cannot do that.
Yeah, Nocturne's gank pressure is going to be pretty minimal pre-6, I feel. Ahri is going to be one of the best targets. Ornn will just dash away. Jhin and Morgana Black Shield if they play well. But Ahri's going to be the one without her without her alt stacks, without the movement speed on her Q, now that they got rid of that, months ago now, but her pre-6 laning is a lot less safe. So I'm almost wondering if Nocturne is just going to camp the crap out of mid lane and let J4 do whatever, or maybe he's going to go after J4.
Not sure. I do know that Phoenix Rising absolutely has the early game priority. They have lanes that have priority of their own that provide gank assist for the Jarvan to come in, and if they get an edge, they can easily take control of the game from the beginning. But I think if they don't take over early enough, then the Skyward comp will just end up outscaling them really, with between the Swain and the Tristana coming into the mid game.
Yeah, I'm not sure because Ari late game is also terrifying as an ADC, particularly an ADC who has no way, like no protection. Because if Ari can blow up Trist in one combo late game, at which point you're relying heavily on everybody else to obviously carry it. But that's more of a equal matchup, I guess, because they can at least play around it, they can position, they can ward. Meanwhile, early game they're going to get pressured fairly hard unless they just outplay them.
Yeah, I definitely think we'll be having to see what kind of setup they do for the Jarvan coming from Phoenix Rising, see how well they play around their lane priority, and then see how well the Skyward team can play around Tristana in the mid to late. I do know that if they over focus onto that Tristana, Swain can really do some damage if he goes unchecked in a team fight.
Yeah, I'm wondering what do you see as the win condition here for Skyward Academy, because I feel like Phoenix Rising is very straightforward. You go for picks and then transition to a team fight. You have Morgana Q, Jin W, RE, J4. Like you have all this big potential. What is the goal of Skyward Academy here? Do they have to play the macro game, get the pushes on? Do they want to go into that team fight?
I think that if Skyward Academy can get to the mid game on equal footing and can pick a team fight where Sion gets either through the lane or from the side decent ulti initiation and dives while Nocturne dives, they can have a really strong diving team fight with Tristana's ability to follow up and Fiddlestick's ulti. They have so much forward momentum on their team. Really, the only one that doesn't jump at the enemy team is the Swain. But assuming that he takes the Cosmic Rush rune, which he did take, he'll be able to speed himself into the middle of the fight with his ult running.
So minor technical difficulties because League believes in changing my settings every time I log out. The game will be on as soon as I load in and can change the setting. Looking at skins though, Darkstar Jarvan, one of my favorites right there. Surprise Party Fiddle, also very solid. Transforming Sion, Mecha Zero, pretty decent. And Arcade Ari, always looks cute. And other than that, I mean, Project Jin, I think, is one of the worst of the Jin skins. Honestly, I don't know.
I have to agree. It's the only one I don't own.
Riot Girl Tristana is fine. It's boring. Tyrant Swain is good, I will say. Tyrant Swain is pretty nice. But Skyward Academy does have 5 skins. The other team only has 4. That is an advantage.
Yep, their skinergy is off the charts right off the get-go.
But their skins aren't really well coordinated, I will say. They are just kind of the same thing. And there we go, in that I can actually get the game going and do things, and isn't that nice? So we are in game now, 15 seconds. Everything just went ahead and started up. And boom. Okay. Let's see.
Looks like we have a standard start coming out from Phoenix Rising as opposed to a potential invade on the bot side from Skyward Academy.
Yeah, they're just going to walk right into Jin Morgana, and Jin Morgana is just going to walk away, I think, unless they can get a lockdown. They don't have ranged lockdown other than Swain E.
No, looks like they were just maybe prepping for an invade from the Morgana, stacking the bush.
Yeah, stacking the bush, full charge Scion Q would have really done a lot of damage, but Phoenix Rising, Phoenix Academy is the combination of the two teams. Phoenix Rising is just like, what? We're all 5-point. Like, we don't need to do anything super risky in this initial part. Yeah, the question is just...
Looks like we got the solo laners are balancing themselves out, heading to their respective lanes now.
Scion will be like 4 or 5 seconds late to lane. Won't matter. But
I don't think it should matter too much unless the only situation that matters is if Ornn needed to get early push for the J4 Scuttle Crab assist, but J4 is on the bot side.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if you think Nocturne might do, red to topside Scuttle to blue. I'm not sure how high a priority they're going to put on Scuttle with the fact that Scuttle is not quite as important as it used to be. But both Nocturne and J4 have very strong Scuttle.
Nocturne does clear the Scuttle very, very quickly, but he just can't step to Jarvan in the rivers, at least early game. So he may have to just concede anything he gets contested on.
That was a cheesy Nocturne looking for mid lane, I guess, and he's just gonna go for. He got spotted out by a ward, and he's just gonna go for topside Scuttle right after red. Meanwhile, Jarvan takes bot side Scuttle. They just traded out, but Jarvan is up a camp on Nocturne right now because he did his wolves first.
And I think the names on our HUD are on backwards at the moment, but we'll see if we can't get that sorted out shortly.
Oh, are they? That is, I corrected the other one. It looks like Nocturne's going top lane. Ornn is eating a lot of harass from Sion right now, and that's just causing him some issues. He's already really low. He is Ornn, so he can buy items, get some health back, but...
And there's what we were talking about with that CC chain on the Fiddlesticks, taking him pretty low right there.
And the names are now on the correct side. I can't check chat while I'm streaming because I have. If I move out of the full screen, things start to break. But yeah, it looks like
we've got strong side lane priority from both Skyward Academy side lanes currently.
But here comes J4. Morgana flashbind misses. J4 gets the EQ on the Fiddle. Fiddle takes a lot of damage. Heal goes down. Jhin is shooting people. Does he hit the snare? Misses the snare.
Missing that snare is pretty crucial there. He definitely needed to...
they need to hit one of them.
Land that, and they can get a follow-up kill with the Ignite from Morgana, but without that Jhin W landing, I don't really think they have the potential to kill without...
Morg flash to try to get her snare and missed. So Morg fladed her flash, and Jhin looks like he healed as well. Traded that. Oh, that was a nice interrupt to the Sion Q with his little pillar.
Big interruption there. Gets the knock-up as well, possibly looking for a kill here onto the Sion.
Even if he gets that, we jumped away. Even if he gets that kill, he's going to die to Sion passive, so he might just want to back off. But yeah, so Morgana flash Q'd, missed. Jhin tried to land the W. Jhin dropped heal. They traded 2 summoners for basically a slight health lead and Tristana's heal. And even that health lead, they're out of mana, so it's not really as important. And Trist is happy just farm this out, even down 7 CS. That was...
The flash fear from the Fiddlesticks coming in, but with Nocturne being here, they potentially have a double kill for the Tristana. No, Nocturne picks up the first and the second, snowballing that Nocturne early.
Yep.
Top lane still trading, Sion staying low. Possibly kill pressure from either party if somebody makes too much of a mistake.
They're so out of mana, though. But no, I think Trist wanted to take that kill. But she was 1 auto away from dying, so Morg could have just autoed her and gotten the kill. And they still traded back. I mean, it's still, they got a kill onto Jhin. That is a win for the bot lane of Phoenix Rising and the jungle of Skyward Academy.
Absolutely. It's definitely going to be a matter now of whether the Phoenix Rising bot lane can take that kill and on their already kill pressure lane and turn that into a bigger lead before the Nocturne hits 6 and can start pressuring the whole map with his lead.
Well, Jhin has his BF sword. He's going right for that Storm Razors, and he will outdamage Trist pretty heavily. Trist just has the pickaxe and a refillable. So really it's going to come down to, can they land their CC? Fiddle flash right into that Morgana Q. Those are easy. You're not going to get those very often.
Definitely a pretty big mistake from the Fiddlesticks, flashing straight into that. Though I wasn't able to see if it was headed for the Tristana. If it was headed for the Tristana, maybe it was just a next level play that I didn't notice.
I think he was looking to surprise start off because J4 was right, or Nocturne, I'm sorry, it was right there. So they were anticipating the gank and they just wanted to guarantee the engage since they knew Morgana flash was down.
Right.
But,
well, it looks like Nocturne's headed towards 6. possibly may start looking for some ganks here pretty soon, especially considering the edge he got off of that, going in with boots, a dirk, and an extra longsword.
Yep.
Pretty strong for this point in the game.
And you see Fiddle's a little behind, and his E's, I wonder if he's maxing that, but his E's are not doing a lot of damage even when he's landing them.
Got a little bit of a trade here coming out of the two beefy top laners. It's a little bit of a wet noodle fight. Nobody really getting low.
Yeah, it's only going to continue to be boring, most likely. When Ornn hits... Well, they're both 6 now, so it's possible that... he didn't get the interrupt off. It's possible that... Ornn? I think he's maxing Q second, or maybe first even. They're getting good damage back and forth, but they're without their jungler there, no kill pressure. But now that they have ults, it is a good lane for junglers to come by.
I think Sion has a surprising amount of burst with his ultimate. We actually may see an all-in out of the Sion here soon. Well, nope.
Ornn's shield has a lower cooldown.
It out. Ahri roaming down into the bot lane. Well, we got a fight coming out top lane. Call of the Forge Lord coming out, but it's missed. Sion ultimate denying the Ornn ultimate there, and we've got
double kill top lane.
2 double solo kills.
And they're killing a bot lane.
Got the 4-man pile on bot lane. The Nocturne got caught trying to counter
nice
that,
flash by the Ahri to get the kill with the ignite and the Q. Not going to die to the bomb.
Jhin ulti coming out looking for the Tristana.
Got the first slow. J4 has ult.
Ultimate,
he has
no
ult.
flash to follow up.
But she walked up.
Oh.
What a cocky play.
Definitely a huge mistake to walk straight into the Jarvan, knowing that he still has ultimate.
And then
the Swain denied the kill once again. Didn't quite have enough damage to finish off anybody there. Looks like Phoenix Rising walks from that fight with a pretty heavy advantage.
1-for-1 top lane, and nobody else died. So they picked up 5. They picked up a full ace across the map, and nobody died.
Did. Only the Ornn went down there, but
he traded. He got that Q.
Tank matchup.
This is really greedy from Jarvan. He's gonna have to smite that early to survive, I think. Let's keep an eye on this Jarvan.
Definitely greedy if he gets spotted out. But it doesn't look like Skyward Academy is thinking to check on the dragon. He's probably gonna get away with this. Walks quite cleanly with the Air Drake.
With like 75 health. Good interrupt from Ornn. I don't know. Unless one of these two tanks gets a huge lead, I feel like they're both going to play very similar roles in the team fights. And now you see Ornn starting to trade back a lot more effectively.
Yeah, Ornn definitely starting to come out on the lead of these trades, getting some very, very important interrupts on the Sion Q with his knockup. But Nocturne coming in here for the kill. It's got the Fear Tether going. This is probably Ornn going down for free here. But Ahri with the follow-up. Still misses. Still hasn't landed anything on the Sion. Knock-up coming out of the Sion. The Nocturne's going to come in and try to finish this off. Looks like they're just going to turn it on the Ahri and kill her.
So she dropped her W expecting it to kill Sion, but she had no vision on Sion, and W will only target what you can see, those little foxfires around her. So as soon as Sion ducked into the bush, but J4 for the cleanup.
J4 coming in, trying to
He'll
clean
get that.
Up. Doesn't have ult. Should just be able to auto him down. Oh, there's the ultimate.
He was trying to hold it.
Denied the Sion ulti escape there with the walls of his ult.
He's gonna... Oh, the shield. Very close. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of kind of clean-up fights where one team will take a fight, start losing or lose, and then somebody else will come in and keep trying to clean up. But right now, I mean, the lead's not that great for Phoenix Rising. They are only up 400 gold. However, a lot of the gold for Skyward Academy is in that Nocturne. Everybody else is behind. Nocturne and Sion. Sion's up about 400 gold. Nocturne's up about 200. Ahri's up 200. Jhin is up 800. Like, the gold is pretty much entirely in the top and jungle for Skyward Academy. And I'm not sure if that's really... The Nocturne okay, but the Sion, I'm not sure those are really where I want the gold for like a late game play.
Well, definitely with the Jhin pick, they don't, between Jhin and Ahri, they don't have too much tank kill on their team, and if that Sion gets out of control, they may not have a way to deal with him, especially later on once he starts to stack that HP on his W passive.
I think you'll definitely see Jhin build Infinity Edge, which will allow him to damage Sion, at least somewhat with crits, especially if he maxes out his crit.
Yeah, but I also think it's important to know that even though they don't have too much of a gold lead, only about 500 at this point in the game, their gold is much more valuable at this point in the game than Skyward Academy's. They may only be down 500 gold, but with the power spikes that their champions have, looks like we got a gank coming in here from the Jarvan 4 onto the Scion. Ornn, Call of the Forge God coming in, gets the knockup. Looks like the Scion's just going to go down here. Not really any threat was passive.
He had no, I believe, no wards. Well, he had a ward in Tribush, but J4 just walked through the completely clear river. There's a pink ward to block for him. And Scion just walked up to trade aggressively like he has been, and J4's saying, there's no dragon up. Might as well take the free kill.
Yep, and I believe both top laners that went down to ganks had no vision, and the junglers just walked in. When the Nocturne killed the Ornn the first time through, he didn't burn his ult to get in there. He just walked in on him. So...
Yep. And that's a macro kind of team play. So either the top laners need to buy pinks as well, but if you're going to be playing that aggressive as a top laner, you need your jungler to help out providing vision as well. And that's definitely been something that's been hit or miss for both teams. Right now, Phoenix Rising has very good coverage on the map with their wards. Skyward Academy has that one pink in bot side river, and then that's about it. To be honest, I don't see any other wards. Well, one ward in top side Tribush.
They're definitely... Either Skyward Academy is not doing a good job of keeping their vision up, or Phoenix Rising is doing an excellent job of pushing their advantage and pushing out the enemy vision.
Yep.
But looks like we might have a fight brewing bot lane. Fiddlestick's ultimate gets channeled through. Has to run away when he gets turned on by the Ahri that was waiting in lane. Goes down to the Jhin ultimate.
That is some excellent prediction from Phoenix Rising. They knew that they were planning to make a play bot lane, and they just had the people there to react. And Dragon... Not enough time on Dragon. It's going to be an Ocean Dragon next, which is, nice if you can get it early, get some sustain. But
looks like they're trying to force the bot tower down. Swain lands the root on the Jarvan, but I don't think they'll be able to push them off of this turret too easily.
Yeah, we were talking about Nocturne being fed. Jarvan now is 4-0. He's building tank as well. Tank with the Tiamat, and then he's probably going to go Titanic. So, he's a pretty beefy boy for this time in the game, 13 minutes in. He's sitting on... He spent it. So, yeah, he spent all of his gold. Jhin is sitting on 2100. That's going to be a huge buy when he makes it back, which he's doing right now.
At least the Storm Razor and most likely full boots if he's going for the movement speed build. There we go. Picks up the Storm Razor.
I say a couple of key spikes. I mean, Nocturne picked up his Duskblade. Ornn grabbed a Frozen Heart. Luden's Echo from Ahri. Swain's got his Roa finished at about 13 minutes. That's not bad. And now the Storm Razor out of Jhin. So people are starting to hit item spikes, but definitely more Phoenix Rising than Skyward Academy right now.
Phoenix Rising absolutely completing. Looks about like an item and a half across the boards as Skyward Academy is just starting to get in there with their first completed items. Though the Tristana hasn't bought yet, so we'll have to see what she gets on this recall. I think she's significantly behind the Jhin as far as gold goes.
1,200 gold behind Jhin. She's going to buy, finished boots 2, pick up a BF sword, but still, not even a full item. Jin's on boots 2, the Storm Razor, and a dagger. That's a lot better than Trist. He can definitely just wreck her right now. Ornn going in for a great trade on Scion.
Scion getting a little bit of HP back, but overall losing that trade pretty heavily. It looks like lane priority across the map going down. Phoenix Rising getting some pretty heavy trades in as the Infernal Drake spawns right now.
Yeah, it should be Ocean.
Or is it?
Yeah.
You were right. It is Ocean.
They all show up as Infernal on the spectate mode, which is...
I see that now.
Tilting. You have to look at the pit usually. So yeah, J4 is going to continue soloing it. Is anybody even coming? Morgana's covering for him, so is Ahri. Free Dragon. Ocean's not too exciting. Sustain's really nice. Goodbye, Scion.
Ornn looking for the kill on the Scion. Flashes to deny the Scion ulti. Call of the Forge God coming in. If he hits this, the Scion will be going down. Oh, he misses. Knockup from the Scion coming in, taking tower shots constantly. Goes down. Looks like it might be a trade to the minion damage. Scion passive looking for the pickup. Times out. Ornn walks away with less than 50 HP.
Oh, Nocturne's coming up. He gets hit by one Nocturne.
Yep.
Oh, vision. They had vision. That was still Ornn could have played that better, but I don't think he could have played that in a more fun way to watch.
Some good coordination between the Swain and the Nocturne, forcing him out of the bush and canceling his recall so that the Nocturne could get the ultimate off.
And that was a blind vision of the Empire from Swain. He assumed that he was there and hadn't walked back out. Because he could have just walked out of that jungle, walked back to his side, and probably lived.
Well, ultimately, all that ended up being was a 1-for-1, but burning 2 ultimates from Skyward Academy while only burning 1 from Phoenix Rising, and they gave up the dragon to Phoenix Rising as well.
And Orin Flash, but now it looks like Skyward Academy has priority on this Herald. Nobody's really in a position. Jhin, they're very strong. Jhin is bot lane. So Morgana might come up, screw with them, but there's 5 of them here. They're not going to seriously contest this.
They may look for a Miracle Steal, but that's most likely about it.
Nope, Nocturne blocks the Q with Spell Shield. Smites it out. It's a much more balanced gold for Phoenix Rising right now. You see, like, all of the eggs for Skyward Academy through this mid game are in the Nocturne bucket. But Nocturne's still very, very squishy.
Got Morgana and Ahri looking for a pick on the Swain. Flashes the Charm. Fiddlestick Silence coming out to deny the rest of the last charge of Ahri ultimate.
Yep, but that's...
Got some good damage onto the Swain, though.
And both his sums. No cleanse next time, no flash. Because that started off with a long-range bind that he immediately cleansed, and then they tried to go all in on him. And Morgana looks like she flashed and then wasn't quite ready to ult immediately, but that was her idea. Still forced out the Swain flash in the end.
Looks like this is that crucial point in the game that I was talking about earlier, where they have the early game priority, they have the winning lanes that got ahead, now they just have to do something with it. And Skyward Academy has to try to survive and stall as long as possible.
Yeah, one thing to note is that Jhin is not using his wards as they're about to kill Sion, most likely. Nope, Sion ults away.
Ultimate, denying the root.
Coward as he runs away. Is Jin's not using his wards. He's dropped 4 wards so far. He's sitting on 2 yellows right now. He's not really contributing much to the vision game.
No pink's coming out from him either. But it looks like they'll just be conceding the top tier 1 tower to Phoenix Rising.
And there's all the outers. They've got Ornn pressuring bot lane, Baron in a minute and a half. They could. That's most likely what they're going to go for to win. Is they'll keep the Ornn split pushing with TP, and just go for a fight around Baron. Like right now, unless they get a perfect combo, you know, Fiddle, Nocturne ulting in while they're fighting Baron, they can't fight the 5v5 fight.
They're going to send Sion here to match the Ornn, but so far that hasn't been too beneficial for them. They're going to need to look for some other kind of strategy to answer this pushing game, or end up just conceding more turrets.
Yep, pressure all around. Ornn's already got that tower to half. He's just got to be careful to watch for Nocturne. Nocturne is top, but if Nocturne rotates bottom lane, it's a pretty easy pick onto the Ornn. But they're just setting up 4-0-1, being matched by a 4-0-1 on the other side.
Good dash denial by the Sion onto the Ornn this time. He canceled him instead of the other way around.
Look like
but I'm surprised they're not rotating the Nocturne down to try to deal with this Ornn before Baron comes up and Nocturne's no longer able to go down to answer the Ornn.
Yep, and J4 is getting mid lane pushing. They've kind of transitioned. They just want to keep... They don't care too much about anything other than maybe chip damage on the towers. They want to keep as many lanes pushed out as they can to set up for that Baron. And they're just going to take that mid lane for free, out-rotated. Though maybe not. Maybe they don't have the damage. Oof.
Big Fiddle ultimate, but immediately popped by the Ahri. Nocturne looking for the Morgana on the back line, but once again goes down to Phoenix Rising.
That's the issue with Nocturne. Like, he is fed, but he is pure damage, full squishy. He goes in. Ahri, here. Goodbye, Sion, maybe. Oh, nope.
Too late on the EQ from Jarvan to interrupt the Sion ultimate.
Well, yep. Morgana Zonya's the Fiddle, or not the Fiddle, the Nocturne ult and damage and lives. Ahri immediately blew up Fiddle as soon as he walked in. That jump is a really easy way to aim your charm. And then Nocturne just gets blown up. He has Duskblade and Warriors, and he just finished Tabbies. He didn't even have Tabbies for that fight. He is just a squishy assassin. And Sion wasn't there, so he's jumping in on his own as a squishy assassin with no way out. He's going to get blown up. Jhin, Ahri, they're just going to shred him.
This totals up to about a 7,000 gold lead for Phoenix Rising. I think unless they end up losing a member ISO or throw in some other way, maybe lose a Baron to a freak steal, I don't really see a way back into this game from Skyward Academy.
Yep, and that's where you want. Jhin has a ton of gold. J4, maybe not the best spot, but he'll get tanky. He'll also have damage. He looks like he's building into a Black Cleaver, so he'll even help Jhin out with damage. And then Ahri has a good bit still. So, you have all of your carries with a lot of gold. And so Jhin just finishes up his full second item, gets rapid fire. They're in a spot to take over the game. They'll grab this dragon most likely just to make sure it's off the map. It's an Earth. It'll help them do Baron faster.
And the Earth Drake probably going to go over for free. Fiddlestick's getting caught out by Morg Mining there. Immediately pop. That's a free Earth Drake going over to Phoenix Rising.
It's
like
warded.
You said.
But they're so squishy. All of them. Like, even Scion's not that tanky yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, they just really don't have a way. Look like Nocturne may be getting caught out here. Tethers the Ahri, but Ahri ults out of range. Lands her combo except for the Charm, trying to auto him down before the Tristana finishes her off. She ults him away, manages to pop the Ahri before the Ahri finishes Nocturne off. Tristana may be getting a little bit of a reset party here. Call of the Forge God coming in. Jarvan and Ornn both trying to take down the... jumps right into the fourth shot from Jhin. Fortunately, that's the end of that potential game-turning fight for the Tristana. The Jhin just going untouched, being allowed to DPS through this fight.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't let Jhin free damage through a fight and expect to win. Not when he's the most fed member on the map.
That looked really good for them, but they were just so far behind. That was almost a mid-lagging, mid-DC'd. So it looks like their Swain just DC'd. But at the same time, they're too far behind. They had a good play, but it was still a 4v5. So even though you catch out people early, you get kills. You don't kill the Jhin. You don't even kill the Jarvan, who is doing a lot of damage now. And so they're just going to carry the fight out. And
it was also a 4v5, considering the Fiddlesticks got exploded outside of the Dragon Pit before the fight even happened. It'd be interesting to see if they could have had something like that happen when the Fiddlesticks has a chance to get his ultimate off.
Mm-hmm. Fiddle doesn't even have Hourglass done yet. He needs that, I think, because he's jumping in. Same as Nocturne. They're jumping in, and they're very squishy, and they're just getting blown up immediately.
Well, he does have Stopwatch that he could use, but
I feel like he
that's
just
a one-time use.
That. Nocturne just bought a Stopwatch. That'll be interesting to see how that goes. But like
Fiddlesticks getting caught out
fourth
once again.
shot.
Most likely just going to try. Oh, and he autos the turret.
I'm not sure if that's like a BM move or if he misclicked. I'm gonna give him benefit of the doubt and say he misclicked. Admittedly, Fiddle's worth around the same as a minion right now, so CSing might be worth it.
Just trying to get the damage on tower.
And they're gonna set up for Baron here. I feel like, and Jarvan finishes the upgrade for Black Cleaver. I forget what that's called now. The Obsidian Cleaver. Nice name. So he's got that done, and he's going to just be... Just that one Morgana Q onto Trist. There goes like a quarter of her health.
Yep, and I think this Baron should be a relatively easy take for Phoenix Rising, and if they manage to complete it, that pretty much spells the end for any small hope that Skyward Academy might have coming back into this game.
I'm not sure if they try to bait it or not, because they're clearing out Vision. They do have Swain's Vision. The Empire is W. They have a Tristana blue ward, which is down right now, but I'm not sure. I feel like Phoenix Rising, even though I think they would have been okay, is still a little concerned about clumping up into Baron Pit for this fight. With the Fiddle, with the Scion jumping in, with the Swain ult, like they don't want to put themselves in a position to lose. But they need to keep pressuring. They need to keep taking things. Here goes the Nocturne.
Going in on the Morgana. Fiddlesticks following up. Morgana are and Zhonya's, but Tristana picking up, or Swain picking up the last hit on that one. J4 ulting onto the Tristana,
that knockup.
The Forge God comes in. Ahri following them up. Swain looking to maybe bail out some of this fight, but ultimately I think he's just going to go down to the Jhin damage.
Doesn't even need it.
Ahri coming in with a triple kill.
Yeah. Morgana's not your best target, and then fun fact, I was watching Swain. Swain always wants to use his passive pull. He pulled J4 into range to ult Tristana. So J4 didn't even need to use his EQ as a gap closer, which then he got to use again to set up the 3-man knock-up out of the Ornn ult.
Well, Inhib dropping mid probably spells a free Baron for Phoenix Rising after they reset here. They can just push Vision out and wait for mid to push itself. Tristana not strong enough to really deal with the super waves yet, so it'll take them much longer to clear those waves than normal.
Yep. Next dragon's another Cloud. They've got a bit on it, but they'll maybe end the game before it spawns, maybe not.
Tristana actually walking out bot wave to clear that wave. Doesn't realize, I don't think, that Jarvan is right on the other side of the wall. Jarvan's looking for the Tristana here. Probably just going to end up with a dead Tristana. J4 flashes in, misses the EQ combo, but still just autos
He's
her
so
down.
fed, it doesn't matter. He's got the Obsidian Cleaver. He's got the Tiamat. Tristana looked like she got her reset off of the full stack explosive charge on a champion for her 2 jumps, and J4 had to flash to account for that. But support fight, Morgana's going to win. Fiddle's running.
Morgana will definitely win this one. The Fiddlesticks is just too far behind. Misses the snare.
It was a blind snare. I don't think she had vision on that.
We may see Call of Forge God coming in, looking for the Fiddlesticks pick. Zhonya's the knockup. Probably still going to get knocked up by the, well, doesn't even bother. There he goes. Gets the pop-up and the auto for the kill on the Fiddlesticks.
And it looks like they're just going to transition this into tower. I think with Fiddle down, they can definitely do Baron without fear. Jarvan picks up a GA. He's definitely not dying. I would expect to see Jarvan banned next game.
Gets charmed by the Ahri.
Goodbye.
Cleanses and walks away, but the back half of Ahri taking him down.
There's that late game Ahri where you don't have peel and Ahri will blow one of you up. And Swain's also building towards that Zonya's, but he's not there yet. And Supers are just pressuring them hard. And there goes the Baron start. They're just going right for it.
Phoenix Rising able to just pull the trigger on this. They see 3 members on the map in their own base, so have absolutely no reason to worry about a contest on this. Even if Nocturne gets vision somehow and can ult in, I doubt he'll be able to steal with a 2-level disadvantage.
Yeah. Well, looks like they just have to choose how they want to close it out. Mid lane is going to push in with supers. Jin goes to the catch with his ult. And Morgana flash charm.
Nocturne, but
they're feeling.
On the Fiddlesticks.
Oh, he's feeling a little cocky. He's got his GA. He's going to walk out. There goes Scion. There goes Nocturne going.
Nocturne instantly popping the Morgana, fearing up the J4, looking for that as well. Even if he does pop him, he has the GA though. Ahri diving in on the Scion, lands the charm.
Oh, he's Zonya's to dodge it.
Coming out, but he just doesn't do enough damage. Nocturne going down to the Jarvan. Tables have turned there. Tristana jumping in, only to be Zhonya's by the Ahri and denied the reset.
And they should end off of this fight. Oh, they got the Jin. Maybe they don't.
Jin goes down.
Jin was frontline ADCing. You never want to see that.
Jarvan is just pushing the lane. I know he's low, but they're just leaving the Ornn to get beat up. Now he's coming in, trying to 1v2. Fiddlesticks is going to come in and fear him here.
If he turns in Qs, he kills that Swain.
Flash fear, pulled by the Swain. Swain steps back and dodges the Q. Huge shutdown gold going on to the Swain. That was a 900 gold kill.
Swain got the yank, and that gave him a little soul fragment, which gave him just enough health to survive that Jarvan Q back. Yeah, they got a little cocky there. They were playing a little they were just playing cocky. Jin was frontlining. They picked a fight that wasn't very clean, and they just kept pushing it.
They were so scattered, and then walking out and tanking tower, allowing the Nocturne to dive in and instantly pop the Morgana, as well as end up blowing the J4 Guardian Angel.
I think she was trying to hold the tower aggro for J4 to walk out, but J4 is really tanky. Like, just let him tank it.
Definitely could have just walked away from that one, but ended up instead handing over some kills. Ultimately, I'm not sure if it'll matter. Lessen their gold lead from about 14,000 to about 11,000, but
gets all the Barons off without towers. Like, they didn't take a single tower now yet with Baron. And Ahri's the only one left.
Ahri is the sole living Baron. Baron buff lasting probably about another 2.5 minutes.
So they have time. They should be able to get probably... I mean, top tower is free for their taking pretty much whenever they make a concerted effort for it. Looks like they're going to try to pressure bot lane first.
Tristana jumping in on the Morgana, looking for a pick. Doesn't get the W reset, but in the end, more goes down to the knock-up and the auto from the Tristana.
And
I don't think she tethered the Tristana when she initially ulted, only got the Scion.
She got the Trist. But it didn't matter because her team wasn't backing her up, and so they need to. They're very strong in the 5v5 right now. They need to regroup again. Like they're just running around the map kind of like a solo queue game.
Definitely a little bit overconfidence coming from Phoenix Rising here. The inhibitor for Skyward Academy in mid lane is back up. They give up the tier 2 tower top to stop the Ahri push bot, but
that was a one-hit tower. There was no way they were going to keep that.
Yeah, they opted just to give it up without risking getting dove for it. Probably the right decision here.
Most likely. I mean, they're starting to hit some breakpoints. Triss has 2 items. Swain is at 3 items. Like, they're starting to be in a spot where they can do things. But like, I do worry about their team comp because the people they have diving in are not tanky enough to survive the burst of the Jhin and the Ahri. And so
I really just question the Fiddlesticks pick here. I think that if they maybe had a support that could facilitate the well, here we go, Jarvan ulting onto the Fiddlesticks. Fiddle ults and immediately Zhonya's. Nocturne diving backline. Looking Jhin
nobody's
just
touching
this
Jhin.
whole time.
So is Triss
Jhin still
though.
continuing the free hit. Jhin taking down the Nocturne, not even with the fort shot. Jarvan goes low, but so does Sion. Sion drops to the combo. Tristana leaping away. Ornn starting to dive tower, not caring that he's diving a Tristana and a Swain. Looks like he'll just be able to walk away away from that one.
And he's got Warmogs. He'll be full here shortly.
Tristana jumping on Jarvan. Not sure how well that will turn out for her.
It looks like Ahri's rotating up to meet it. Jin's got a...
Swain doing his best to defend this, but I don't think there's anything that he can do to stop them from taking this bot tower. Jhin opens up with the ultimate, hits the first shot, whiffs the second, whiffs the third as well, knocked up and immediately dropped by the 4th Jhin shot.
Yep.
Only hit the one that counted.
He hit 2. At 50%, 50% hit rate's pretty solid. 2 inhibs, they're going to trip inhib here most likely. I don't think they can hold with Swain down. Nocturne's up. Nocturne no ult though, so...
Looks like they're just going to end up having to concede this triple inhib. Going to have double super waves crashing here pretty soon.
Let me turn off chat so we can't see them talking to each other. Sion tries to ult in, misses, and they're just going to turn on him. It is taking Jhin a while to kill him, though. I'm not sure.
Nocturne probably going to drop to the first shot, actually. The Storm Razor proc coming in. Sion already getting low, just not tanky enough to deal with that comp.
It takes a while for them to kill him, though. Like, he's tanky enough, it's just his team doesn't really give him enough damage while he's doing that. Because, like, Jhin is taking a while.
Half health only from the Ornn damage. J4 ultimate flashed back by Swain on the fountain. Looks like they're just going to have to try to protect
here.
KDA here. Swain going in. Ults and pops the Zhonya's, but I don't think it will end up mattering here. He just doesn't do enough damage, unfortunately. Trades his life for the Morgana, but
I mean,
looks like that's it.
They died 16 times this game. 7 of them were Morgana. It's okay to have your support go in and die if it means the rest of your team cleans up.
It was a pretty dominant performance coming out from Phoenix Rising, I think.
Definitely. So it's like, well, what do you think's gonna change next game? Do you think they're gonna go ahead and do anything differently? Pick ban? Like, looking at this damage chart. Let's look at the damage chart too. That's always fun. Hey, pretty equal.
I think they
did more than Ahri.
They made a pretty critical mistake picking several losing lanes. The Swain really doesn't come online because he's a Roa builder. And he needs to hit that mid-game spike, and they picked the hypercarry ADC without appealing support, and then a tank top laner with a jungler that really can't pressure too hard pre-6. So going into a comp that both has stronger lanes and a stronger early jungler, they were just asking to get pushed out in the early game.
Yep, and it looks like they're getting right into Champ Select, which is good because it is a late. Let me give you an invite. We could get right into game 2. Switching sides, which I will... This is my first cast in several months while we were on break for this league, so I will make sure now that all the teams are on the proper side before the game even starts in a prepared manner. Yeah, we'll be good. Okay, so... Again, no substitutions, same teams. Be interesting to see what happens. Oh, hey, we're up to like 30 viewers. That's nice. Let's see if chat. What is Twitch chat? Anything interesting in Twitch chat this game?
Looks like it's most of just the Skyward Premier roster memeing it up about their the academy.
Well, we gotta do what they gotta do. Let's see. I've got messages from people that I'm ignoring. People send me messages. Yeah. Do you expect to see a J4 ban?
I'm not really sure. I definitely expect to see less of a priority on the Swain and more of a priority on another early game jungler. I think that they could deal with the Jarvan just fine if they don't pick a jungler that is not able to get anything done
Mm-hmm.
without his ultimate. But it wouldn't surprise me if they do just take the short route and end up banning out the Jarvan so that they can maybe allow their lanes to be a little bit more peaceful before junglers get involved.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there will be another early game jungler that Phoenix Rising could pick up that could have that type of pressure, because J4's ganks are one of the easiest to pull off. And so these people asking for the stream link, I'm not gonna tell the teams the stream link in the game. That's how people ghost. No, I will. We're on a delay anyway. So, and it'll be interesting to see the adjustments, because right now Phoenix is riding the high of they controlled that game start to finish, and it's going to be on Skyward Academy to really pull it back and kind of regain control without tilting.
Ball is definitely in Skyward Academy's court to make the plays this coming game to try to get their own priority early game and run with it.
Looks like Karma Returns is joining in. I think that's a coach for one of the teams. I'm not really sure which team.
Skyward Academy coach.
Makes sense. Have the coach come and tell you to do better next time. Well, it looks like we'll be starting up here shortly. Yeah. Can't pick a bunch of losing lanes against an early game jungler and have them fall behind a little bit. Though I was surprised on the Sion Ornn matchup. Sion was bullying Ornn pretty heavily early. It ended up not mattering because tank top laners, but Sion was winning that lane in the 1v1 capacity.
I definitely am curious about the Tristana pick as well. I think that with the current meta, you just don't see Tristana or Caitlyn that much anymore like you used to. And I think that, maybe if you replace that Tristana with like a Kai'Sa, say, that when eventually that Kai'Sa got to those 2 items that Tristana got, because Tristana needs at least 3 before she's really able to take over a game, but you put a Kai'Sa in there and maybe you have the potential for a comeback in that big fight that we had bot lane when Skyward made a good showing but just wasn't able to clinch it out because they were too far behind. And I think that's just a result of Tristana not doing enough damage to get through the Phoenix Rising front line.
Yep, Tristana's definitely one of those champions that's been kind of left behind on the meta changes. Right now, it's really a lot more early game focus than she wants to be. She wants to just kind of chill, farm it out till 2-3 items, and that's not the way the game is right now. And it looks like everybody is readied up, so we should be starting into Champ Select real soon for Game 2 of Skyward Academy versus Phoenix Rising. And we are into Champion Select, and we will take a look. First ban comes out of Phoenix Rising.
See what lanes they end up focusing on. Not sure what they thought was immediate jungle ban. Graves taken away from Munteke.
Yep, I think that was a ban last game as well. They are just kind of keeping away some of the strong junglers from Winteki. I'm probably screwing that up. Somebody will correct me later if I am. And right now they're sitting Misfortune.
Looks like we're sticking with, at least so far, the same bans as last game. Both teams seem to have felt like their bans from the last round were pretty on point.
Yep. I'm wondering if we're going to see multiple early game ADC bans from Skyward Academy this game. So you take out the MF, do you also now take out the Jhin, and do you start saying play something off meta or play a different ADC?
Definitely seems like, considering the Misfortune ban, I would assume that's a favorite of the Phoenix Rising AD carry. Judging by the fact that he played Jhin when Misfortune was banned, he seems to prefer his lane bullies, and maybe pushing him onto something more uncomfortable would serve them better.
Yeah. And I will say he didn't look uncomfortable at all on Jin, and they're gonna have first pick again. So it's possible, or they didn't have first pick last time. Last time first pick was the Swain, no Morgana. I don't think they. I mean, they could first pick Swain here. I don't think they had much issues with it last game though.
No, I don't. I don't think so. But I also don't think that Swain was set up for success. There, it looks like we're getting a first pick Jin coming out again from Phoenix Rising.
Yep, he's confident in it. He did well on it, and he says, I don't think you can handle it. And there goes the Zaya. That's a
Zaya Rakan from Skyward Academy.
Yep, the ADC for Skyward Academy plays a lot of Zaya. So Zaya Rakan's still a decent lane. You get some early game power and some late game power, and it'll be interesting to see who they pair Jin with now that Morgana's gone, if they can continue that early game bullying.
It may have been a bit of a overzealous first pick here, considering that the Zaya Rakan were both up, and with the Morgana banned, Jin is very vulnerable to that lane.
Yeah, I mean, I think Zaya and Rakan were also both up last game, and they didn't get picked. So it's possible they just didn't think of it. Trundle coming in, most likely Trundle jungle. I guess they don't want the J4 this game without the Morgana to assist in his jumping in efforts or to pick people off, but Trundle gives you some pillar, gives you some disengage, and that Ari was quite strong. So
interesting that the Ari was left up again. They opted to once again deny the Zed pick, even though the Ari did perform last game quite well. We'll have to see if that ends up being the right choice or if they have a better matchup in mind to deal with the Ari this game.
Yeah, it seems like Skyward. Well, they're picking the J4, but Phoenix Rising already opted out of the J4, so it feels like Skyward Academy didn't really adjust their pick bands that heavily. They still let Phoenix Rising pick up pretty much their comfort picks, whatever they wanted.
Definitely looks, though, that Skyward Academy at least has more of an idea of what they want to do this game over last game. They have an earlier priority jungler as well as a strong duo bot lane where Phoenix Rising seems to be looking for a pick comp. That between the Ahri and the Jhin, they don't really have the team fight damage or pressure that they need. They'll be having to look for solo picks and trying to snowball the game off of those.
Yep, and so it looks like they're going to take out Tom. Yep, so they're just cutting away all of that protection for Jhin. Like, no Tahm Kench to eat you, no Morgana to shield you. What's left? Janna? No Braum?
Braum denial.
They are just saying, we want Jhin to be out and alone. We want you to feel the sadness of a Jhin into a Jarvan. Because if Jarvan jumps on Jhin can't get out without flashing.
That's correct. And it's interesting to me that they opted with the Braum ban over maybe one of the more Enchanter-style supports like Lulu or Janna, considering that Jhin and Braum don't tend to synergize too well because of Jin's incapability to pop Braum's passive.
Braum can block the feathers and the Rakan stuff, though.
That is true. That is true. He can deny the feather root and serves very well into their comp so far.
Yeah, I feel like they're worried about Braum just standing in front and blocking everything, but I'll have to see what they pick here. Going down to 0. Darius. Darius was banned last game. Darius and Garen, top lane spinners. But now they know Darius is up. That's a great target for Trundle to ult to suck away all of those stats. He'll usually build fairly tanky. So it'll be interesting to see. They know Darius is up. They've got to have something that they can think of to counter it.
Interesting to me that they opted to pick the Darius here instead of the mid lane, because we see the Ahri coming out from Phoenix Rising. They could have counterpicked that and held the Darius for a later pick. Maybe they were afraid of the Darius being picked away, but it looks like Phoenix Rising opts to take the Vladimir into the Darius.
And Vlad has some good options into Darius. That is a skill matchup, though, for a while until Vlad gets levels and items, because if Darius is smart and aggressive, he will just stand between the minion wave and you and dare you to come at you. And that Warwick was also banned last time, so Warwick is up as well. Trundle support. It's got to be a Trundle support, right? Yeah, Trundle support, Warwick jungle.
Looks that way. Been a while since I've seen Trundle support, though I'm not really sure how well that will fare into the wall of damage that is Zaya and Rakan.
He'll get poked a lot, but I can see him. He can really stop the Rakan engage if he times his pillar right. Come on, is that a Warwick? Okay, that's not a Warwick support. They get the trade through. If he pillars Rakan right as he W's in, Rakan will have a lot of trouble moving around to get his ult because he'll be slowed and have the pillar in the way. So like maybe they're banking on that, or they picked it for team fights and they're relying on the Jhin bully to carry them through.
I definitely think that Skyward Academy did a better job not completely isolating themselves out of the early game. They have lanes that can stand on their own. I think their bot lane matchup is volatile either direction. Looks like we've got to switch back to the Warwick bot lane and Trundle jungle. Not sure if they're
trolling me.
around or
They've got to be trolling me. Like, I love Warwick. Warwick is my most played champion. I got like 300 games on him. He does not support. Yeah, that's what I thought.
And the Syndra does quite well into the Ahri, assuming that she has to play the early game cautiously, because if she gets charmed and locked up, especially with the Warwick around, she's done for. But I think that the agency that Syndra ulti provides into Ahri ultimate, Ahri can't just run away if she's in danger of dying. Once that Syndra ulti's locked on, if Ahri doesn't have Zhonya's, then she's done for.
Yep, and I feel like we will see Ahri build in early Zhonya's, but right now I feel like Jin's going to run into the same problem Tristana ran into last game, in that into their team, he's got nobody who can really help him versus the Jarvan and the Syndra. If Syndra or Jarvan, anybody gets onto him, he's going to just eat a bunch of damage that he can't dodge at all, like the Syndra ult, the J4 ult. So they did pick a lot of other damage threats, so maybe they're trying to bait that out where you burn everything on Jhin and then, Vlad, Ahri, Warwick kind of clean up. But at the same time, I can't help but feel like Jin's life is going to be really rough in these team fights.
I have to agree. I think that Jhin, while being one of the better AD carries at standing on his own, without Peel, especially with the new movement speed build that he runs, will just really struggle against all the threats that he's going to have to be dealing with between Jarvan and Darius running at him and having to sidestep both Feathers and the Syndra long-range stun.
Double ignites out of Phoenix Rising, both the support and mid lane. You see Syndra's running cleanse again, which is really, I mean, that's what Swain did as well into Ahri. I feel like you kind of have to if you're a mobile against an Ahri. Double teleports top lane. Nothing is really interesting in the summoner spells. Pretty standard across the board. Since I did fix my thing, we should be able to actually see the loading screen so everybody else can see the skins this time, but I hope Zyrakan have matching skins. That's all I'm gonna hope for.
I'd love to see the new Samsung skins coming out of the bot lane. Not sure if we'll get the opportunity, but they're nice looking and they're new.
The best of all worlds. Jarvan into Warwick though, I feel like in a pure 1v1, so the lanes are roughly equal, mid lane, top lane, bot lane, none of them show up and you're just a one-on-one in the jungle, Warwick still wins that. Even with the nerfs, even with everything else, with his sustain, with his percent health bite, with his fear, with the damage reduction off of that, like he wins the 1v1 still. So I'm wondering, will the Syndra and the Darius be able? Darius definitely should, but will Syndra be able to maintain enough lane pressure to support Jarvan when he runs into Warwick in the river?
I think it really actually is kind of a synergistic relationship between the mid laners here and the junglers. I think whichever jungler manages to put his mid lane ahead, once the mid lane is one way or the other, Ahri can either just run down the Syndra and Syndra can't do anything about it, or the Syndra can just one-shot Ahri. And depending on who gets ahead in the beginning, I think that will really determine the pace of the game and who has dominance in the river. Because if that Syndra's ahead and there's a jungler fight in the river, there's nothing Ahri can do to get there. And same vice versa. If Ahri's ahead, Syndra absolutely cannot walk out of lane if Ahri's around.
Yep. So it looks like we are loading in. We're going to let the League client run like a very old Steam engine as we get in. And let's take a look. What do we got here for skins? We got Popstar Ahri, a different Ahri skin this time. This guy probably plays a lot of Ahri. SSG Rakan? No, SSG Zaya. But SSG Jarvan. So we got some
two synergy. SSG skins, but seems like not everybody got the memo about the new Samsung comp that they're running.
Yep, and even with Project Jin, I feel like the skin lead has to go to Phoenix Rising here. I love Earthwick. We're gonna have to catch that back animation at least once. Popstar Ari is a decent skin, and then the Vlad skin has a much cooler splash art than in game, but it's a very cool splash art.
Really big fan of the new Dark Waters skin line.
Mm-hmm.
Reference to one of my more favorite games. A lot of them are references to the Bloodborne game line, and really enjoy those games myself.
So we'll see as we kind of do the whole wait for. There we go. We got nice and bright. People loading in. Vlad did pick up some minion dematerializers, which will hopefully help him wave clear and stay equal with Darius. Standard starts across the board. Warwick doesn't need potions, of course, because he is Warwick. And it looks like blue team, which is Skyward Academy, is also going to stack up again. Nope, they pinged it. Or no, wow. It's getting late. Phoenix Rising pinged for an invade, but didn't happen. They're just 5-pointing.
Trundle getting laid out of base. Spent too long thinking about what he wanted to buy.
Oh, they're going to try to cheese this Tribush with Zyra. Jarvan's going to start topside, and they're going to try to cheese the Tribush. And he missed the ward.
Rakan failing the ward over the wall. Should go watch some more Skara vids.
And Jin saw him. They saw him walk into the lane. They're going to try to cheese the lane bush, I guess. They're going for that level 1 Zyra cheese. It's strong, but...
With press the attack, Zaya absolutely has the damage between her and Rakan to just blow up the Jin if they get the chance, or the Trundle for that matter. I think that they can kill either of them if they lock them up with the full combo, but...
Yep, but Ari's going to walk up, place that ward. Did not get it into red bush, or red buff, though. You really want to get that ward into like the red buff area to see where they start. And she was doing it a little late, was a little scared that she's going to collapse on, couldn't do it. So we'll have to watch bot lane if they walk up.
Looks like both teams starting on their red buffs. Giving some priority to the Vlad and giving some priority to the Zion Rakan, respectively.
But, yep, Warwick was faster and has a lot more HP. And are they just going to walk? They just walk up and double knock up. Goodbye, one of them.
Stepping on the Jin. Autoed the Trundle there. They get the flash and the heal out of Jin. Nothing out of the Trundle.
And he has to reset. So his lane is functionally over unless they let him back in. He's going to come back to lane. They're going to be level 2. He's got obviously no buy because he got nothing, but Warwick does the same path as he did last time as Jarvan, where he does red up to topside scuttle, down to blue. Jarvan just does blue to botside scuttle. He has no fear of meeting Warwick there. But he might go for this Trundle, or he might go for Jin when Jin comes back. Looks like they're trying really hard to pressure this bot lane.
Looks like the J4 maybe looking for a walk-in through Tribush, maybe looking for the Krugs. Warwick's Krugs.
He's looking for Warwick, I think. He's checking red buff. He's walking up. He's going to take chickens, maybe? No, vision.
Sees all the camps up. They get another knock-up onto the Jin, coming in with the Q. They kill the Jin. Disrespects the Zyra Rakan damage. Flashing Knight from the Trundle. Heal coming out. Don't think it's enough. Rakan goes down to the Trundle, but as the Ahri goes down mid lane, Zaya may finish off the Trundle here, though. Pops press the attack. Gets the Q. One flash auto, the minions finish off the Trundle for the double kill for Zaya. Looks like Zaya's... Oh, sorry, Rakan picked up one of the kills, but that's 2 kills to the Skyward Academy bot lane.
And Jin has 1 CS. He is in a rough spot right now. And J4 picked up an early gank mid lane. He is down 10 CS on Warwick, but he is impacting the map. Warwick is just kind of power farming right now. There's not really a lot of good gank opportunities.
Pretty big reversal, it seems, in playstyles for each team respectively. The Warwick getting a CS advantage early, similar to the Nocturne last game, but not having much impact on the map as opposed to the Jarvan, just like last game, only for the other team. The combo coming out of Darius may have gone a little too far. Flash Q, but blocked by Nullifying Orb.
And forced the Darius to flash out too.
Very low. Unfortunately, I think that is a better trade for the Vladimir than the Darius in that case, even though Darius was the aggressor, just because Darius has to reset here while Vlad can farm up some minions and get a little bit of HP back.
Yep, and I feel like Flash is a lot more valuable for Darius than Vlad, because Vlad still has his pool. And now Darius is pretty vulnerable, especially if he keeps playing that aggressive. But Really, the reversal of fortunes, I feel like, is all predicated on that bot lane early kind of cheese out of the bush, and then now that J4 pressure. He's coming
J4
back
wrapping
again.
around to potentially look for a gank. They pink warded the tri-bush. They know that they don't see him. Warwick on Krugs, but backing right now. This may spell disaster for the Jhin once again.
And I say Warwick wants to reset for that Tiamat, and
they're pinging it back. J4, both knockups miss. Jhin may still just be out of luck here. He has no flash, no way to get out. Xayah picks it up with the blade collar.
Really good mechanical positioning there, good pillar, but there's just, you can't get out of that when you're that far up. And now if they're smart, they're gonna freeze it like right around here, and that's gonna be a problem. No, it should still freeze, even losing that minion.
They've just given up so much control to the Skyward Academy bot lane.
Yep. I think last time the difference is Warwick's gonna go for that. That ocean would be huge if he successfully sneaks it. But Jarvan's walking in. No,
good
Jarvan
combo from the Syndra, chunking out the Ahri.
Jarvan didn't. Nope, Jarvan saw it. Okay.
Oh, Warwick has to flash out of the dragon pit.
Unfortunate. If you sneak that ocean, that's huge for your team with a sustain, like a 5-minute ocean.
Darius looking for the all-in on the Vlad here. Gets the full passive proc, but slightly misses the Q that would have been the definitive winner for him in that trade.
That dragon just chunked the crap out of J4. Like, Ocean Drag is such a rough dragon to do. And
catch out the Trundle in river. Goes down to the Xayah. They just absolutely cannot contest the Skyward Academy Xayah River con lane. Oh, big Q coming out.
He's
gets
dead.
the full passive proc. May bleed out the Vlad here. Yep, ticks out to Darius passive. Warwick coming in to try to clean up a kill, but the Darius is 6. If he gets the Q off, he may turn this. Got 3 stacks onto the Warwick. Warwick's pretty low. He has no flash to follow up because of earlier.
Waiting for Q. If his Q cooldown's on, he can win that fight if he plays it right. But yeah, Darius leveled up to 6 off of that fight with Vlad, and then that just made it a problem. Right now, the game is kind of Skyward Academy's to lose. They're up almost 3K at 6.5 minutes. They have late game scaling. This isn't a situation where they are all early game. So if they can maintain control, this game is theirs.
Looks like once again we've got the top HUD is backwards right now.
I fixed it. Did I? I fixed it in one spot, and then I didn't fix it in the other spot. Let's see.
Such a finicky 1v1 between both Vlad, Darius, and Warwick. All are such regen-based champs that you almost can't tell who's going to come out on top of a fight until somebody is dead. Just because of the strong come-from-behind potential that they all have with their large regen abilities.
Especially early game Warwick with his Q. Such a burst. It looks like Trundle has DC'd, so we'll chill out a little, wait for that pause to unpause. But really, I think Ahri is 6 now. I feel like the win condition for Phoenix Rising is Ahri needs to go bottom and they need to make a play. She's not really super ahead. She's behind Syndra because she died to that gank and Syndra got the kill. But I feel like in the 3v2 they can still beat the bot lane as long as they get there before Xayah hits 6, and Xayah's close. So if Ahri rushes there, they might have a shot to kind of start swinging the momentum back.
A major point of concern for me is the fact that, like we pointed out, the Jhin has died twice already. And his first base, he went back with 1 creep when he had 1 CS
base,
when he died. Actually, yeah, on his second base as well. Both times he was forcibly returned to base with only a single CS. But now he is only 4 CS behind the Xayah. And that tells me that the Xayah and Rakan are not doing a good job of denying him CS with their advantage.
Nope, because he initially based with no CS after that level 1 shenanigan where they sat in the bush and he burned while sums. Then he came back to lane, the J4 gank, he died, and so he went back to base with 1 creep. But now he's caught up. He's kind of in it. I mean, he's down. I can't actually check gold because we're paused. I'd say he's probably down maybe 1,200 gold. Like, it's a lot of gold.
He is down actually about 1050. The gold total is 1830 for the Jhin to the Xayah's 2882. And being down just over 1,000 gold at only 7 minutes into the game is absolutely massive.
Yep. And there's looks like we've unpaused. And there's smaller leads for the other members of Skyward Academy, but really that's the big one. So I feel like if they can...
Darius missing the Q here. Fighting in a huge wave. Big advantage HP-wise, but Vlad will most likely just sustain that back up. Lands another Q, maybe looking for an all-in here. Gets the pull. Vlad doesn't pool it. Gets the quick dunk. Vlad's going to bleed out of his pool.
I feel like Vlad's not respecting the bleed damage very much. Like, you have a lot of regen, but not that much.
He's overall disrespecting just how much Darius can do to him. Not only the bleed, but excellent play by Addo. They're pulling him in, getting the quick dunk so that he can't react. He's actually undodgeable with pool because he was still bouncing from the pull.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether or not Skyward Academy can close this out, because they do have the lead, but the longer it goes without them getting sustained advantages, the more they get back into this game. And it looks like, you see, there's that pillar. Stops the engage, they walk away.
That it was a good disengage there, but getting a little bit of deja vu. Got the Warwick doing his Krugs and then backing while Trundle's looking for Jarvan is looking for a gank through the tri-bush. Rakan misses the grand entrance, backing up, taking a couple of tower shots there. J4 maybe looking to pick the low Ahri. Flashes and misses the Q, but burns Ahri ultimate in the process. Looks like Ahri may just burst him out.
Took the tower shot. He's not tanky. So what we saw last game with the J4 immediately rushed 2 items. He rushed Cinder Hulk and he rushed Tiamat. This J4 is not following that build, so he's a lot squishier, even though he's kind of in the same position where he's ahead. He looks like he's building for a Phage first, probably into a Cleaver, so...
Looks that way. Oh, Warwick denied the ultimate. Not denied, he missed. Comes up short on the ultimate, immediately pushed back by the Syndra Force of Will.
Max range ults on Warwick are hard to hit, I will say that. But, yeah, he still forced the flash out. All he burned was his ult. Diving in.
Ulti coming out of the Rakan. Both ultis coming out of both champions. Xayah misses the root, but flashes and picks up the kill on Jhin. Definitely a mechanical misplay from Skyward Academy there, but nonetheless still coming out on top. Looks like Jarvan's going in. Jarvan ultimate. Xayah Blade Caller flashed by the Trundle. Not quite gonna tick out to the red smite though.
Yep. I mean, I feel like that was just a forced dive. Like, they didn't need to. They have the advantage. And, like, yeah, they got the kill, and they got the kill into Xayah, but that kill means a lot more to Jhin right now than it does to Xayah.
Definitely not good to put Jhin back in the game, but I will take back what I said earlier and point out that since I opened my mouth about them not denying CS, Jhin has not gotten a single CS since then. And now Xayah has a 30 CS lead. Big ulti coming out once again.
What was Warwick
Darius
doing? He was walking up like he wanted the wave, but like just take the safe path. Ahri might be able to clean this up though. Does she have ult? She does have ult. She can clean this up.
Darius didn't get the reset on his ultimate. Ahri looking possibly walks back under tower. Ahri lands the charm, burns her ultimate. She has no ignite from the Jarvan fight. Burns all 3 charges, and Darius just walks away. Doesn't really care.
No, not quite enough damage yet. They're gonna pick up the Ocean Drake here, which is honestly kind of slow. They should have had it a while ago with how big of a lead they had bot lane.
Jhin forced the flash. The Syndra lands the stun. Not quite enough damage to really force anything. She doesn't have flash up for the flash ultimate. And Ocean Drake, once again, going over to the Jarvan. Another deja vu to last game. J4 picking up the dragon undetected with less than 50 health.
Different team this time, but I feel like Ocean Drakes are better the earlier you get them. And they could have picked up that Ocean Drake from basically 6 minutes on. And I feel like that might have, like, they're still winning their lanes, but that's something they could have grabbed for free at pretty much any point. So I'm wondering why not, especially since Jarvan was just soloing it.
Yeah, definitely could have been picked up earlier, maybe as an alternative option to the botched dive that the Zion Rakan had. Maybe just walk up and go get that dragon. Definitely a big pickup, especially in my opinion for the Darius. The only downside he has in that lane is that he can get kind of poked out slowly over time by the Vlad, but with Ocean Drake, not so much a threat anymore.
He's got Mertress, he's got Doran Shield, he's doing pretty. Are they just trying to... He's just farming.
Jhin is ulting to clear the wave, try to break the freeze.
Yeah. The other thing with taking an early dragon is it's also not about lane, it's about setting up for the next dragon. So right now, next dragon is going to spawn at 17-ish minutes, and so that's going to, maybe in the next 6 minutes, Phoenix Rising manages to pick up a little bit of turnaround, get in a position where they can fight for it. Whereas if you take that really early dragon, the second dragon would have been spawning right now, you can most likely just keep taking them for free. And you pick up a couple more dragons before they get a chance to contest. And they paused. I assume somebody DCs again.
Looks like we're jumping right back into it, though.
Oh, excellent. Love that. Pauses are my second favorite part of the game, right after the 3-minute spectator delay.
It definitely looks like this Darius is real close to getting completely out of hand. If Phoenix Rising can't find a way to shut down this Darius and stop the snowball, then I don't see a way that they'll be able to stop him later on in the game. If they have to deal with him, they've got both a fed Darius and a fed Xayah to deal with, and you can't really deal with both in a team fight. Not at the same time, at least.
Nope. I think what they're going to try to do is, if they keep Vlad in a side lane, Vlad can wave clear pretty safely against Darius, especially under tower. So Vlad can just sit there and wave clear. Darius can never dive him, and then Darius will slowly kind of just lose his gold lead as Vlad farms, while neither one of them really goes into team fights. And right now, I feel like that would be a net win for Phoenix Rising. Looks like they've lane swapped.
Dangerous place for the Jhin to be, getting comboed up. Ahri walking back in, ulted by the Syndra, not quite enough damage. Ahri ults in, lands the charm, cleansed immediately. J4 looking for the Ahri, but doesn't quite have the range. Ahri ults away. First tower dropping, solo to the Xayah.
Well, they do. Oh, he got it. The knock-up looks really weird interacting with that. Knockback.
So Warwick landing the ultimate this time, taking down the Syndra. Assist going over to the Ahri. J4, though, will be there to catch the wave. Not too much coming out of that, except for a little bit of a setback for the Syndra, a little bit of a edge for the Warwick.
Yep, picked up a kill. I think Warwick might actually... I mean, he'll be down... Oh, no, he's up 600 gold on that Jarvan right now, so that is their bright spot. Ahri's equal, yeah. Warwick is up, everybody else is down by a lot. 2,400 in the bot lane.
Oh, pool's too late. Still gets hit by the enhanced W, but ultimately I don't think that'll matter too much as long as he doesn't get pulled. If he gets pulled here, though, nope. Darius whiffs the pull. Could have potentially been a kill without having the pool up for the Vladimir.
That's where those boots come into play. Boots are critical. They can't hold this, I don't think. Xayah has Storm Razor. It's huge.
I think that Skyward Academy is showing a little bit too much respect here. I think they could be looking for more on this, but the Rakan and the Darius don't seem to be on board with a potential dive. Syndra here as well. Looks like we got a 4v4 brewing.
They're traumatized by that dive bottom lane. But this is giving Jhin time to farm. Jin's just chilling bot lane. Like, I'll pick up CS. Like, who gives a shit what happens top lane?
Jhin definitely getting some solo farm, solo XP as well here. The Rakan going in immediately with the RW. Vlad gets popped, not even the time to pull out.
The CC chain, yep, knock up an ult from Rakan, the Syndra stun. Can't really do much. And they should be able to take this here, though. Darius is backing. Yeah,
they only lost the Rakan. Jarvan going with the EQR here, gets charmed, but can't lower his wall. Looks like they just get the Ahri ultimate out there for free. They're pinging for a Rift Herald.
Trundle flash as well. You're still seeing a lot of damage. Oh,
Warwick with a long range R gets popped up by the Rakan. Blade Caller and Syndra damage coming in. Syndra and the Xayah still have their ultimates. Darius as well. I don't think that they can be here. I think that
they leave. Warwick got greedy because he saw the pop from Ahri. Ahri dropped a full combo there and did a decent amount of damage, and Warwick was like, I can ult it and finish. And you forced the heal out of Xayah, but like, you had no kill pressure. There's 3 people. No need
I
to
think
jump
this
in.
is just so disrespectful from Phoenix Rising. Vlad rooted up, he ults and pulls, but I don't think it's enough. The Xayah R and the autos just too much damage.
And waste flash. Yeah, I feel like at this point they're starting to play. Oh, good steal from Ahri there, but they're starting to play a little bit.
Ahri gets the blue buff
tilted.
back, but they're definitely playing very disrespectful of the huge advantage that Skyward Academy has built. 6K, 5.5K gold lead, 8 kills up, 2 towers to none. They just really don't have anybody but the Warwick, and especially once the Warwick went down, they had no business fighting there.
Yep, and the thing with Warwick is he does he's deceptively tanky, but at the same time, that can work both ways. So, like, he's a little tankier than he appears because of all of the regen you get and the health back from your Q and your autos. But at the same time, if you're not getting good autos, you're still very, like, you're very able to be bursted. So, like, you walk up, you can still get bursted down. All you're sitting on is the jungle item and tabbies. Like, you're not this unkillable Bruiser Warwick of 3 patches ago, 5 patches ago.
That's some good forethought by the Warwick there. Picks up the Scuttle Crab in front of the Earth Drake just before it spawns. And while I don't think they'll be able to contest the Earth Drake, potentially opens up the chance for them to maybe have the Trundle go up, and the Vlad and Trundle can maybe look to kill Darius and take top tower in exchange because they have the vision. Ari gets a EQ combo out on the J4. Doesn't really matter too much. He's pretty tanky at this point.
Yep.
But looks like the Trundle was just farming wolves and headed over here, but too little too late though.
I don't think they... Oh, I guess they're kind of...
Ari instantly blown up by the Syndra combo. Locking up the Warwick as well, and Warwick goes down. J4 ultimates and Syndra ultimates going in to pick those two off. Free Earthstrike over to Skyward Academy.
Phoenix Rising is just forcing things too hard. Like, they're behind. They have scaling. Like, they can play it slow. An Earthdrake is not the end of the world. Let it go. And same with that fight around Blue Buff. Like, they got to cut their losses and kind of take their small victories, cut losses when they can, and look for opportunities to make plays as opposed to just kind of forcing things, going in one by one, staying in fights way too long. Like, they just got to chillax a little.
Interesting observation by Twitch chat that the Trundle support is actually building a Blade of the Ruined King.
Yeah, they've given up on this game.
Flash heal out of the Jhin to avoid the Syndra flash combo. Rift Herald putting some solid damage down on mid turret.
Even when you do Trundle jungle where you have more gold, usually the build for Trundle in a like competitive team environment is you build tank, you build things like Zeke's, you build other kind of supporty items. You don't build a blade, that's not anymore. That's not how you play him.
Looks like we're just gonna have a little bit of a reset here from Skyward Academy. They've got their turrets. Everything but the top tier 2 is down, except for the inhib turrets. And we'll have Baron spawn in about 45 seconds. May have them posture for that.
Honestly, Skyward's just going to walk up to Baron. They're going to either start taking it or just take it without being contested. And then it's going to be game. I feel like Skyward Academy will go to Baron. They may try to fight, but unless Phoenix Rising really plays that fight perfectly and outplays them, they're 8k down. They don't have enough gold to really contest that fight.
I think the 2 Kindle gems that are being pointed out in J4's kit, one is most likely for Black Cleaver, and the other is most likely for the Warmogs that will follow that. He's just going for that early CDR cap for the ultimate in combos for fights.
Yep, he's just stacking health. He doesn't really need armor yet. Nobody, or even MR. Like, Jin's on one item, Ari's on one item, Vlad's on one item. Like, there's not really a lot of breakpoints here for them to be worried about. Now, if the game keeps going out, like, Phoenix Rising has a chance, but it looks like they're starting to set up for a Baron play, and that's going to be it. They're either going to pick somebody here or just win a fight. Goodbye, Jhin.
Just a solid observation. Ooh, big combo from the Syndra. Just a flash auto from Darius is enough to take down the Jhin immediately. Looks like they're starting the Baron here. No contest from Phoenix Rising, just handing over the Baron. Not really sure there's much they could do, but at the same time, this Baron buff might be like last game and just spell an end for Phoenix Rising's shot in this game.
I'm not sure they can actually clear out Baron minions, really. Like I said, Ari's on one item, Jin's on one item, Vlad's on one item. Like, I don't know if they just straight out have the damage to even kill these minions.
Got Skyward Academy pushing in top, going for that last outer turret that's left. Not sure that they can defend this. Phoenix Rising may just get dove here. J4 going immediately in on the Ari. She's going to tick out to the red smite. There she goes. Rooted up onto the Trundle. Syndra Ball taking him down.
A lot of damage on a Darius, but not enough to kill him. And that's what matters. Jarvan is at like 3 health. He's an auto
Maybe here
away.
just for the auto attack steroid from his E, but he's not dropping it, so maybe this is just a greedy stay from him.
He's got Ocean Drake, so like he's starting to regen. I think this is going to be the game-ending push, and I feel like
I don't think they'll end the game here. I think they'll pull out. They'll back off, look to reset, and do the same thing bot lane or mid.
I mean, I guess they've got 15 to 1800 gold per person to spend, so.
It's only 22 minutes into the game, so it is a very fast-paced game here. They may just be looking to close it out slow, not try to overcommit onto anything. Oh, Syndra snagging away that scuttle crab from the junglers. Some flashbacks to solo queue there, I bet, for most of the junglers.
Yep, this is the exact opposite of Game 1, though. Game 1, Phoenix Rising kind of controlled from almost start to finish, whereas in this game, that level 1 kind of cheese out of Xayah Rakan in the bush just kind of set the tone, and from there, they never really had a chance to get back in. Like, the jungler didn't have many places he could impact, and bot lane didn't have an opportunity to win at all with Jhin, so those were the two major factors in how Phoenix Rising won Game 1, and they just got completely shut down in Game 2.
The Jhin is solo pushing top lane all the way out by where his tier 1 would be if it was still standing. The Trundle over pushed here. Looks like he's getting collapsed on by Xayah and Rakan. Most likely we've got a dead Trundle here. May just end up executing himself. Not sure if they're going to bother to run him down. Doesn't seem like it. Seems like Trundle's just going to walk away from that one. Big charm out of the Darius. Darius 1v3 here. Lands the Q, gets the regen, the pull. Maybe not enough damage coming from him, though. He's probably going to slowly get run down here. Yep, there he goes.
Look at how long it took to kill him, though.
Just too much time. The inhib most likely going down here to the J4. Maybe not. They'll end up backing out. The Warwick is completely out of mana. Gets stunned up by the Syndra here. See if they can't finish him off. Xayah just too much damage.
They are. I mean, I'm not sure if this is starting to look almost like a bronze game where like they're just playing ridiculously aggressive, but like, I mean, they're picking up kills out of it. They're just not stopping the push.
Yeah, definitely some desperation moves here coming out from Phoenix Rising, but unfortunately it's just not enough. Similar to last game, they got a good fight there, played it as well as could be expected, but they're just too far behind. Mm-hmm. You can't overcome a 15k gold deficit with a little bit of good mechanics.
Yep, and Trundle being out there all by himself, reminiscent of Fiddle last game on the other team, kind of meant that even when they had the advantage, like they picked Darius, they killed him, it was still a 4v4 instead of a 5v4. Like, you're losing that person. And really, I think the question now is, we saw how Skyward Academy kind of responded to losing last game, where they've come back and they've done very well. Now what happens next game, Game 3? Does Phoenix Rising have the kind of mental stability to come back and play it out and do well, or is this game just going to be, it's such a kind of stompy game that now you're tilted into the next game? Like, that's kind of a key element in a best of 3 of like, you can't get too hyped when you win, you can't get too kind of down when you lose.
Looks like Darius picking up the red buff there instead of handing it over to Xayah. Xayah already has the enemy's red buff, but definitely some more personal for me flashbacks to solo queue when my teammates decide that it's better off on them than me.
Yeah, that's not even a jungler, it's a top laner. That buff is the junglers. Looks like
I think you can tell respective roles of the casters, so by the way they view the game. Looks like we got a bush stack here from Skyward Academy looking. Ari may end up walking right into the face of that. Ari or Vladimir. Oh, the RW missing from Rakan.
They gassed.
That's a big whoops. Can't have that happen. Darius aggressing on the Vlad here. Not really sure he'll be able to get much done though. Not in the 2v1 and not without his team around. Trying to bully down the tower, but no more wave left. Backdoor protection coming in. Jhin R being kind of wasted there. Gets some decent wave clearance. Stalls for one more wave.
Yeah. And you see that you're just gonna pressure. I mean, they can play this slow. Darius is walking in the top wave and the mid waves all at once, and Jhin's many strengths do not include wave clear, really, especially not against supers.
I haven't been seeing him putting down traps to deal with the minions. Normally you see Jins, when they're trying to deal with wave clear like this, they're dropping traps in front of their turret to at least try to thin the wave down before it crashes, but not seeing any of them coming out of him.
Yep, and they lose the Nexus Tower. They're just going to have to fight this. Misses
Warwick
the
with the
ult.
big whiff, big knockup coming out of the J4. Ari instantly exploded by Syndra combo. Warwick also taken down as well. Jin running away very low, but will live. Trundle trying to get what he can, but gets popped up by the Rakan. Darius coming in for the big dunk, looking for 3 now. Triple kill for the Darius, and that will be the game.
Yep, I mean, you see that can't really do much when you're that far behind. And their whole team wasn't even there. Vlad came in right late. So even if you're going to pull that kind of last-minute fight, you have to... I like how it shows victory for me, regardless of which team wins. Because really, you know, I'm the true victor.
See, I got defeat.
Obviously, you picked the wrong side.
Apparently so.
I don't even know how it determines that. Let's take a look at damage charts, just for fun. Vlad did okay damage. Pretty equal. Syndra, Xayah.
I think the Vlad suffering from a little bit of that for you Overwatch players. He's got the trash damage going on, getting a lot of poke off onto the Darius, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean too much.
Yep. Let me see. We should probably invite you in. I suppose you would like to see Game 3.
Would definitely prefer to be able to watch the game. A little bit difficult for me to cast from the sidelines, or I suppose from not even being able to see the game.
Looks like, let me okay, wait before somebody mentions it to me, let me make sure I have switched all of the teams this time. They are back on. Actually, Game 3, the team that wins the fastest can choose which side they want. It looks like they have chosen their side again, which is the same side as last time, because Skyward Academy, I believe, did win faster.
I believe so as well, considering they broke first inhib at 22 minutes, and the game didn't seem to persist much beyond that. I don't know the actual times myself, but I do believe the second game was a little bit faster.
Looks like they are trying to do things. Somebody wants to move somebody. You can just give him the team role, you know, which is what I think they did. If not, I'll fix this in just a second. There we go. Looks like Skyward Academy is bringing in another coach person. And yeah, so Game 3. We saw some adjustments. Wondering who's gonna... Apparently Jarvan is the secret here, so we'll see who picks up the Jarvan this game.
Definitely seems like the J4 and the potential for him to just kind of tilt the way the game is going one way or the other in the early game is a really valuable resource to be had. Be interesting to see if he's allowed to hit the Rift again, considering his profound impact in the last 2 games.
Yes, I mean, it will be interesting because I feel like J4, while he was admittedly on the winning team last game, didn't have the huge impact. It was really that Xayah Rakan. J4 just being picked away meant that the Warwick on the side of Phoenix Rising couldn't really impact the bot lane as much as say J4 could. He couldn't really tilt the game back when that happened.
Seems to me the lanes of Skyward Academy, when put in a position to win their own lane, have a really strong chance at taking that advantage away. The game 1 went heavily in Phoenix Rising's direction because the jungler was there to basically stop everything from happening and completely swung the game in the direction of Phoenix Rising. But in game 2, where he was on the Warwick and he just couldn't really match the J4's gank pressure, and the lanes were allowed to exist on their own, separate from the jungler, Skyward Academy just took over quite early. Though they did get an advantage in the bot lane off of some cheesy bush tactics, some hit-and-run guerrilla warfare.
That does only work for one game, though. I feel like if they get Xayah Rakan again, which, you know, 50-50 shot in my view, I don't think they'll be able to pull off that bushwhack again. I feel like there will be some awareness.
definitely will have to be more cautious. I think that maybe they take a step back from the Jin this game, without the big bully support that they had on the Morgana to go hand in hand with the Jin really just didn't get to exist in the game. He got pushed out of lane by the Zyra Khan. He, at no point in the game, felt like he was useful at all. So maybe they look at something a little bit more team oriented rather than the Jin pick. But with the way their team likes to play, I wouldn't be surprised to see another Jin Ari comp come out. They like their pick champs, so maybe they'll stick with it.
Yep. I'm not really sure. Like I keep going back and forth in my mind whether or not I think there will be somebody, banning the J4 because honestly, it's quite possible that they just decide to leave it open and just kind of ignore it and hope that it doesn't matter. I guess I'm not really sure.
I think if you're Skyward Academy, even though you are first pick this round, I think that you want to keep the draft as similar as you can to last game. The Warwick, despite getting a bit of an advantage early between CS and picking up some kills, didn't really have too much impact to put the game on his shoulders. And with lanes as strong as they were, if you can keep that same matchup, I think that the result might be pretty similar. But we'll have to see what Phoenix Rising has to say about this next draft phase going the way it did last game.
Yep, I mean teams are going to be on actually different sides. It looks like they ended up deciding to go back, so I will indeed need to change all of the teams again. But at least I noticed this time it's 12:20. It's a late night here. Um, really, it is. I feel like it is going to come down to draft phase. Whoever's drafted the early game has won both games. And so I think unless they give us a ready here soon, we'll take a brief couple of minute intermission and then come back. So we're going to go to intermission here for maybe 3-ish minutes, and then we'll be back for the exciting game 3 between Phoenix Rising and Skyward Academy. And we are back. Looks like all the teams are ready, and we are about to hop right into Champion Select for Skyward Academy versus Phoenix Rising, Game 3. After a nice controlled Game 1 from Phoenix Rising and an explosive Game 2 from Skyward Academy, we are just right back into for the winner-takes-all game. First ban.
Looks like they're sticking with the Misfortune ban. Immediate Darius ban coming out of Phoenix Rising. Have to say, quite a good ban there. It looked like the Darius just went unchecked last game, and if you don't have an answer to it, you just gotta get rid of it.
Yep, and I'm wondering if they're worried because MF can do a lot of things Jin can do in terms of early game bullying.
I think I lost you there.
I say Jin can do a lot of things that MF can do early game bully wise, but MF has herself speed up. She has a slow, like she can kite for herself a lot better in lane to dodge ganks. And yeah, that Morgana was definitely the linchpin of the Jin strategy. And with her being gone, I would think they don't go Jin again.
Looks like we've got quite a few top lane bans pointed at Addo8 of Skyward Academy. The final ban being the Graves ban. They dropped. I'm not sure what they dropped from last game that they picked up.
Graves. Aatrox and Graves have been first round banned by Phoenix Rising both games.
They're threatening the Xayah Rakan here again.
I wonder, do they just grab Xayah here? If Yurika can play Xayah, I feel like they can pick Xayah away. Xayah does a little better without Rakan. I feel like then Rakan doesn't have Xayah.
There it is. They're forcing them to take the Xayah away or have to suffer through another Xayah Rakan lane once again. But that may be intended by Skyward Academy. We'll have to see if they have something lined up. And a J4 locked in as well for Phoenix Rising.
Canadian champ looked real good on that J4 game 1. And so putting him back on it, early game pressure, decent jungle clears, I feel like that'll fit them very well, especially with another early game ADC bot lane so far.
We'll see what Skyward Academy has to respond to these two picks. I have to say that I think the Xayah and the J4 are both very strong picks. The Echo was what was dropped for the Darius ban. The Echo has been banned out the last 2 games, but is immediately picked up this time.
Yep, and so what will Echo? I mean, Echo is most likely mid lane. Trundle jungle. Camille. So Camille's got to be top lane now with Jarvan. That could have been a flex pick. Actually, it could be mid lane now too, right? This meta.
I really think that either of those champions, not so much the mid lane for the Jarvan, though I have seen it before, but I have seen Camille be played top, mid, and jungle, and I have seen the Jarvan be played both top and jungle. I saw Jarvan top just recently, though it did not do too well.
I have seen full damage Jarvan mid lane, which is full lethality. It's great. Again, no peeling supports. Like, they're not prioritizing them in the first rotation. Phoenix Rising isn't prioritizing these peely supports. So Morgana, Tahm Kench out again, just like last game. And so are they going to pick another aggro kind of support who doesn't peel super well, or what?
Interesting that they take the Jhin away from Skyward Academy after playing it for the first couple of games. The Jhin and the Lucian, they seem to be afraid of early pressure. Like you said, they're not prioritizing the peeling supports. But I do think that Xayah with her R can somewhat fend for herself, at least better than most AD carries. Galio.
Goodbye, Ahri. Well, Ahri just got banned too after even in the loss, doing pretty well. So,
yeah,
Galio.
They take the Galio in response to the Ahri ban.
Galio, that is a really strong teamfight combo for them. You have the Camille ult, you have the J4 ult with the Galio jumping in. You have a lot of kind of reliability on that because even with, people can get out of the J4 ult, people can't get out of the Camille ult. And the combination of the two, yeah, Ezreal is your only option to maybe remotely stay safe, but you can't get out of a Camille ult as Ezreal still, so I'm wondering if he's going to run into the same issue as Jhin did, even though he's a little more mobile.
Be interesting to see exactly how they end up handling that. Though I do have to say, between the Echo and the Ezreal, they do have 2 of the better champions, and Rakan is as safe as his AD carry is, being able to follow up the Ezreal blink. He can dash to him to follow him out, and Echo can dodge the all-in as well with his ultimate. But
so even though Rakan was first picked, they do leave support for last pick. Zyra.
Covering the Zyra, not really sure if that will be well. All right, we've
That is
got
a
Zyra.
huge wombo out of the side of Phoenix Rising. That is just like one of those old school lay everybody's ult down at once, win a team fight style comp. Like that's just
I do worry though, for them on the terms of wave clear. If they get behind, they don't have the wave clear aside from their bot laners to really deal with any type of siege. And they also really, if the Camille gets behind, they don't have a way to answer a split push either. And that's really what the comp coming out of Skyward Academy is looking to do. We've got the Echo and the Urgot who can both push side lanes and leave Trundle and Ezreal and Rakan to hold the base. And not sure what
I mean
what
Trundle,
Phoenix Rising will
Ezreal,
be able to do.
Rakan also have terrible wave clear. Like Echo is the
Right.
primary wave clear out of Skyward, and their siege I don't think is that strong because it's three melees, Urgot, and Ezreal, and so that's two short range champions and three melees. And if you're trying to walk up for that kind of thing, you're just putting yourself into a position for the Camille ult, for the J4 ult, for to be kind of engaged on. So I feel like it is going to have to, for Skyward Academy, they have to pull them around. They have to separate them. There's a lot of kind of global pressure just off of the Galio, but if you can pull them apart, make them waste ults, when their ults are down, they are substantially weaker for Phoenix Rising. So play the macro game. That's kind of their win condition. Pull them around, make them react to you.
Will definitely be interesting to see. I think that the comp from Skyward Academy has potential, but is very difficult to execute properly, as opposed to the Phoenix Rising comp. If they can just hang in the game until maybe the 15-minute mark and just they all press R on top of one another, they can just power through almost anything.
Yep, and once you start grouping the lack of wave clear from Skyward Academy, if their gold is equal or behind, is going to start being this major issue of Echo's wave clear is pretty short range. Everybody else doesn't really have wave clear. If you can't walk up to clear, they're going to just burn the tower down. And if you do walk up, Zyra snare, Zaya snare, J4 engage, like Skyward Academy just needs to get the early lead and stay with it. But they didn't really necessarily pick lanes that are that much of a bully. Echo is a strong lane, but Galio kind of just doesn't care because he's Galio.
I do think the Ezreal will have a distinct advantage as far as poke goes. Aside from the Zyra, the other comp doesn't really. The Phoenix Rising comp doesn't have too much poke to answer. But if they can get on top of the Skyward Academy comp, the Skyward Academy comp just won't be able to keep up with the amount of wombo and damage that Phoenix Rising's team can put out.
Yep, they're just gonna sit back and. I feel like Skyward Academy has a decent comp, but really Phoenix Rising is going to be in the driver's seat because they control the engage, they control the kind of wombo, and they're going to be the ones who want to team fight. So Skyward Academy really just throw them off balance, see what happens. Summoner spells. Galio does take Ignite, which will make mid lane maybe a kill pressure. I'm surprised he doesn't take TP for even more global pressure there.
Also surprised to see the Ignite coming out from Galio. Not really sure that he'll ever have pressure on the Echo to kill him. The Echo's ultimate's just too much disengage, and Galio just doesn't do enough damage, really, unless Echo misplays.
Yep, I mean, you do see he was playing Ari the last two games, so it's possible he's just gotten into the kill, kill, kill mindset. But you do see an exhaust come out of Rakan, which will help negate some of that initial engage. You would hope you exhaust whoever jumps in initially and try to kill them before anything too bad happens. But let's take a look. What's this gonna look like? Black screen. Good job, Riot.
Same for me.
I just want to judge these skins. This is the high point of this game. Ezreal, no skin. Terribly disappointed. Little Slugger Trundle, excellent skin. Project Echo, Battlecast Urgot, good skin. Program Camille, Darkstar Jarvan, Gatekeeper Galio, great skins. You get to see both Galaxy, Rakan, and Zaya skins, just on the wrong team. And
Well, whenever they let us drop into game here, we can get this one rolling. See who ends up taking the series after a couple of solid performances from either team, respectively.
Looks like Ezreal has started with the 2 inspiration items. He's got Stopwatch and Minion Dematerializer and a Doran Shield. I wonder if he's got Biscuits too. That's an Ezreal farm build. You never want to leave lane. And we are paused. I can't see chat. Is anybody talking in chat? They should let spectators talk in all chat. I'm sure that wouldn't be abused at all. Hey, look, the pause ended. Let's see.
All right.
Looks
Yeah,
like
I have my chat hidden. I drag it off the screen, I drug it off the screen a long time ago, and I don't know how to get it back.
looks like they are going to meet each other on this invade. Red team pings going through Tribush. Blue team is starting to move towards it.
Oh,
Zaya
Rakan
right
looking
there.
to face check.
Goodbye.
Gets rooted. Combo, W'd over the wall, but he's ignited. Fail flash from the Zaya. Ticks out to the Zyra ignite.
Yep. Nobody saw that flash except for all of us. The other team doesn't know what happened. Well, they heard
you
it.
can see the flash dust from Fog of War, but not really sure if he was too focused on the Fog of War when he's burning to death.
See what Zaya grabs. First back, 400 gold.
Just the boots.
Just the boots and a red ward.
Yep.
Extra potion for Zaya, which is nice. But other than that, nothing too exciting. J4 did start. I don't know if he started this game 1. He started Machete Rejuvenating Bead so that he'll get that early Tiamat, but at the cost of not having quite as much health early.
Definitely a bit of a risk. Putting yourself at a disadvantage if you get into an altercation with the enemy jungler over Scuttle Crabs. Echo getting the early shove going, possibly looking for some heavy lane priority here.
That is that level 1 Echo push. It's one of the strongest in the games, but he took a lot of damage from Galio doing that.
Urgot trying to bully the Camille.
Yeah, Camille's just got to take it.
Shotgun knees. Not much she can do about it.
Well, post level 2 or 3, when she grabs her jump, she'll be able to try to fight that a little harder, but meanwhile, it's kind of just like eat the damage and farm it out.
Both teams look to be playing this one a little bit more slowly. Urgot still playing aggressive, still got that bloody top lane going, but good dodge from the Echo. Ease the knockup from the Galio to get a positive trade for him.
J4 with blind. Ezreal E'd in.
Ezreal shifts in. J4 fails the combo. Doesn't get his E down. Knocked up by the Rakan. Looks like they may just be able to walk away from this one. W slow coming in from the J4, but it does not matter. A lot of minion damage coming on the Zyra. J4 posturing in the bush. Maybe looking for a regain. Such a huge mechanical error coming out of the Jarvan there. Can't miss your combo. That was giving up at least 1 kill, maybe 2.
I don't know. I think he would have lived, but he definitely would have burned Flash and maybe heal, which would be huge because if Ezreal can't E in like that if he doesn't have Flash, and so you take away a lot of his his confidence, his power if you burn his Flash early. But he's doing what he's doing. He's doing Ezreal things now. He's just kind of doing that.
The Urgot misses the knockup, but still crashes a huge wave into the Camille, gets some more free damage off. Rakan rooted by the Zyra, but it doesn't really matter. He's just got too much mobility. Ezreal's starting to get a little bit low on mana, though.
Yep, I think he get a mana push. Oh, you see J4 is taking Krugs, invading the Trundle jungle. He's down a camp or 2. He's going to run into Trundle right here. Trundle has blue buff. J4 sees him and is like, I don't want this. I'm in an awkward spot, and is gonna try to.
We got Rakan rotating up. Ezreal staying in lane. The Rakan collapsing. Echo rooted up or taunted by the Galio, so he won't be joining. He's got to run.
Ezreal is taking a lot of
flash
damage.
Auto, but it's not enough damage. The Zyra plant blocks the Q to save the Jarvan and kill the Ezreal.
And they catch Galio on the rotation on the back
Galio goes down. So we got a 1-for-1 trade there as the Ezreal gets a little overzealous. But, big flip from the Urgot. Camille just jumps away, but
no mana.
Really, struggling. No HP, no mana. Urgot's not low, not too low on either at least. Just going to be crashing this big wave and may force the Camille TP out. Nope, she opts to stay. The knock-up from Rakan misses on the Xayah. Chomp coming down, TP coming in. It's the Camille, but the Camille's very low. Not really sure to what she'll be able to do to help this out.
Why did she...
Takes a turret shot. Camille's going to be going down here. Heal coming out from the Xayah trying to save her. Rakan gets the knock-up. TP in from the Urgot. Zyra goes down. Flash Chomp from the Trundle. And the Camille and Xayah walk away. But just a bit of a overcommitment there. Not really sure what Camille was thinking on that TP.
I liked the start of the TP. You start the channel, you make them back off, but then you cancel. You don't finish that TP.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think the threaten was a good play. It was a good head play. They didn't have vision on her. She had backed off, thought she was coming from base, but to follow through on that is a bold move for sure.
Yep, and kills.
Galio getting caught out here, knocking up the Trundle. Trundle's low, gonna get bursted out here, ignited and killed. Echo trying to chunk out the Galio, but maybe he's a little bit too tanky. Echo just doesn't have the damage at this point in the game to get through all that beef. Misses the back half of Q, just pops the passive and walks away.
Yep, that may force Galio to back out though. They had the lead is equalized now. A lot of kills on Zyra.
Echo going back in. This big combo, just still not quite enough damage. No Ignite up. With Ignite, the Galio's dead for sure, but he just doesn't have it.
Nope. And now Galio backs. Galio got that kill with Ignite, but TP I feel like is good in this situation. They're going to 3-man Echo. Echo's out of mana.
Jarvan looking for the combo. Misses the EQ.
Gets the thing. Echo has
not really sure he can win this, to be honest. Echo has ultimate. The Camille there to threaten, but the Flash ulted. The Flash stun ulted by the Echo are very good outplay there from the Echo. Wastes a lot of time from the top half of the map on Phoenix Rising.
Yep. Camille won't really miss much CS. Urgot's going to crash it.
Oh, the single auto from the Zyra plant over the wall.
Hey, you got 3 kills on Zyra, and normally I would say, having all these kills on a support, not the ideal situation, but Zyra's not really your average support. Giving her a bunch of damage, not the end of the world. And it looks like Urgot is pushed up with no vision again. And is Jarvan going to go for it? Jarvan's going to go for it, it looks like. Nope. No, maybe not. Looks
like the Urgot's looking to push that vision right about now, but he's going to get collapsed on J4, just pops over the wall using the plant. Combos, maybe looking to ult. One ult coming down, J4. Camille doesn't have the vision to get ult off. Urgot just flashes away. Flash auto from the Xayah, just enough to get him off. Doesn't step back into the heal from Rakan.
Rakan killed Ezreal there because Xayah's last auto didn't hit Ezreal. It hit Rakan and got the pass through.
Just a fortunate couple of mechanical mistakes coming out from Skyward Academy bot lane. The Galio looking to trade here, gets the taunt, but also eats the full Echo combo. Comes out on top for that trade, but
Aftershock is doing a lot of work there.
Yeah, at this point in the game, I think Galio's base stats and the HP that he has is just a little too much for Echo to get through. Echo's still looking to trade though, avoids the taunt, but can't quite get his passive off either.
And you do see, Xayah's up 20 CS, got a kill. Zyra's huge as well. Right now, bot lane for Phoenix Rising is in a really good spot. That was...
Both top laners missed their dashes. Urgot's still looking for some damage here. May look for the ultimate. If Camille doesn't dodge it, she may be in trouble. Ults the Urgot. Urgot's just tanking these minions. He doesn't care. He's looking for that kill. Gets the stun. Galio ultimate coming in from the mid laner. Knocked up, possibly knocked down here.
He's got his
Urgot gets his dash up in time to get away. Barely avoids certain death there.
Yep, Camille was trying to stall for the Galio ult, but not quite enough damage. I feel like if she'd gotten a couple more autos off while she was in her ult and doing the % health damage, it would have been good, but...
Echo coming in here, maybe looking for a revenge gank onto the Camille. If he can get over that wall and on top of her, I think she'll just explode. She doesn't stand a chance. Looks like he's walking right by. Doesn't quite get the ward in the bush. Dodges the knockup. Ease on. Ignite. Gets stunned up. She's going down. Here comes the Echo ult. Just barely misses. Flips the Galio away. Misses his ultimate. But Looks like Urgot will walk away. Oh, flash taunt auto coming out of the Galio to pick up the kill on the Urgot. Once again misses the knockup, and that spells death for the Galio to the Echo. Flash Zyra ult flashed away by the Ezreal. Looks like we got some fights breaking out here all across the map.
Yep, Zyra landed the E as Ezreal tried to E away as well, so the snare followed and she decided to take it as a chance to go in. Meanwhile, though, they sneak the dragon with the Trundle Rakan. It is only an Earth.
Coming down, maybe looking for the R. RW misses, but the Trundle pillar knocks them back into the Rakan R. The charm goes through. Heal coming out. The Zyra is going to die here. Trundle flashes away to survive. Got to watch the big blade color potentially coming in. Right there, Ezreal just explodes. But looks like Xayah will end up going down. Chomped.
Almost got one.
Rakan flashes away.
Echo dies top lane. Not sure what happened there.
Echo just gets comboed by the Jarvan there. Oh, a little bit of an overstay after the big fight.
A lot of kills going through. But in the end, gold's about equal. However, you can see
we've got a little bit of a split of a lead. The Trundle is huge. And the Urgot has a pretty significant lead over the Camille. But the bot half of the map for Phoenix Rising is going to be a real problem for Skyward Academy to deal with.
Yep, and Trundle is only up maybe 300 gold on J4 because J4's got a little CS lead, and he still has that kill and the 3 assists. And now they pick up a Herald.
The Herald sneak in exchange for the Dragon sneak. Have to see if that Earth Drake ends up being useful later on to answer for the loss of Herald. But they did pick up the 2 kills bot lane in exchange for it.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see. J4 has played a lot of skirmishing, but hasn't really ganked heavily. He's been a lot of fights in the river, coming in on fights that have already started. I'm wondering where he's going to start prioritizing here, because I feel like top lane's the easiest lane to gank out of the 3 for him. Urgot's dash doesn't actually go through the J4 wall, whereas, you know, Ezreal, Rakan, and Echo can all jump through.
Will be interesting to see once we progress a little further. Jarvan just backed, given a little priority. We've got Echo and Trundle roaming down bot lane. They're pinging back, but I'm not sure that if they don't back off the tower, they'll be able to survive and dive, even with Galio ultimate. Oh, the Zyra might just get popped here. Galio ultimate coming in, but it does not matter. Zyra exploded beforehand. Double man stun from the Echo. Gets the taunt, but Echo passive popped onto the Galio. Trundle just mowing down the enemy team. Too tanky for them to pop. Big 4-man Jarvan ult, but at the end of the day, I just think there's too many members alive, even if they are low. Xayah picking up some kills, trying to turn this. Triple kill for the Xayah, it looks like. Or 2 went over to J4, but ended up overstaying there.
Yep,
a late TP from the Urgot.
The Galio damage reduction was all. They were banking on it being a little better, but it still ended up setting them up nicely where it was a split fight. 2 members of Skyward Academy were over the wall to the river. The other 2 were kind of in the Tribush area. And then let Xayah kind of set up and throw feathers down and just do a lot of cut-through damage with her passive and her Q.
Urgot playing a little aggressively here. Definitely has a pretty strong advantage, but is got 3 members of Phoenix Rising around him. Not really sure if he wants to take this fight.
Yep. Xayah's a little low on mana, misses the E. They're going to trade a lot of damage on the top tower for this. Camille's getting free reign, but Echo's going to go up.
Echo's going to be stopping that, looking for the W stun on her. She just will repel away. But it looks like they've just rotated mid to top to bot, and bot to mid. Nice dodge by the Urgot, avoiding the root. Trundle coming in, maybe looking for the pillar. I don't think the Xayah has enough to R. She may just get locked up here. If Urgot can land his R here and just... Oh, big shield, gets the pop. Trundle coming in, double kill for the Trundle, but the Zyra manages to get to the return trade onto Urgot.
Overstay on Xayah's part with no mana. If Xayah had mana there, they win that fight just straight out. But
absolutely.
No mana.
She doesn't have R, but it wouldn't matter.
Nope, get the pullback. She has Stormrazor and Zeal now, so...
First turret going down to the Echo. Also gets a stun onto the Camille, but Camille's trade just very strong. He's going to have to look for the all-in. Has to look for the ultimate here. Needed to ult.
Oh.
If he had ulted the stun, he would have won that fight, but just didn't quite have the reaction time.
Camille had ult as well. In an ideal world, Echo would have ulted the stun. Camille would have ulted the Echo ult for no damage, and then Camille might have still won. But
Not sure if can you ult
yeah,
Echo Ultimate? I think he's untargetable until the end of it.
if you start the target beforehand, you'll be in the middle of your Camille animation as the ult hits. You have to time it well, but we'll see. Herald should take mid tower here, I think. 2 shots maybe.
Will definitely do the most of the damage, but won't quite knock it down. Looks like the Herald will end up just going down, not quite taking the tower with it.
They'll pressure.
I imagine it was getting close to timing out.
They'll pressure bot lane off of it and get bot tower maybe here. Yeah, they should be able to get this.
Bot tower going to drop, Echo rotating down. Looks like they're going to end up trading mid tower potentially. Got 4 members of Skyward bot lane. E forward from the Ezreal. Looks like they want to fight, but I'm not sure they want to take this fight. That's a 4v2. Galio goes low. Taken out by the Recon quickness. Camille getting chunked as well. Ults tries to get out, repels away. Looks like she'll just walk away from this one. Flash root, ult coming out of the Zyra, pops the Ezreal. Looks like Skyward Academy went a little bit too deep on this one. Oh, big blast plant saves half the members of Skyward Academy. Camille whiffs the stun. Trundle just duking it out with J4, but not enough. Looks like the entire Skyward Academy going to get rooted in this fight. Big overstay. And Echo actually ults out and walks away clean.
Jarvan might. Yep, Jarvan's going to walk out. They might catch him.
Oh, little greedy there for the... oh, good E. Just barely cleared the wall. A big flash from the Camille.
And Dragon's
Double
up.
kill for the Camille. And a Dragon going to go over.
That was a huge, huge fight for Phoenix Rising. They picked up a lot of kills. And they're really showing that early mid-game power here where they're taking fights that are kind of a little disadvantageous, and the Xayah's damage is just kind of Zyra and Xayah just out damaging and crushing them.
Yeah, I think the Skyward team is also making some boneheaded plays here. A little too overzealous with a lot of their plays. If they had just taken the kill on the Galio mid and then gotten out, maybe Recon would have died with how deep he was, but everyone else would have lived, and they maybe could have just taken that turret. Ignored the Camille, but they opted to dive and got collapsed on.
Yep, and Galio was trying to stall for the Zyra rotation, but there's a halfway point between you pressure the tower and you try to dive between towers for a Galio, who still takes you a little bit of time to kill. But they're definitely using their kind of movement stopping abilities here well for Phoenix Rising. The J4 ult, the Camille, and the Zyra snares. They're just kind of CCing the crap out of them every time something happens.
I definitely admire the willingness to E in, to shift in on Ezreal and look for that damage and play aggressively. But sometimes when you're behind, especially when you're 0-5 in a game, you just can't afford to do that. You end up becoming a liability. I think the bot lane from Skyward Academy maybe needs to chill out a little bit here and lean on their 7-3 Trundle, their strong top laner.
The issue with Trundle is building admittedly what I'd call proper for a team thing. He's building tanky support, and you don't carry a Trundle with tanky support. You need somebody to do some decent damage there, and he did go for that early Visage because Zyra is doing a lot. But there's no Zeke's then to help out like Ezreal or do some extra damage.
Oh, big combo from the Urgot. Lands the ult and grinds the Camille down. They're going to have to send somebody to answer the Urgot top.
It's going to be Jarvan, looks like. Tower might be gone by the time Jarvan gets there. I don't know why Urgot's dancing and not just autoing the tower down, but...
I think the tower is going to go down here. I'm not sure that J4 can win this fight.
He's got Tiamat, and Urgot doesn't have ult, and he's got some fire.
Yeah, Urgot no ultimate. You're absolutely right, and Jarvan definitely did more damage than I anticipated him to. But
he finished his
does
cleaver.
Get the turret. They get 2 turrets in exchange, and they go 1 for 1 on kills. Both top laners go down. Actually, 1 for 2. The Zyra went down as well.
Yep, they caught her under tower. They tower dive mid lane. But yeah, J4 is 5-0-8. He finished his cleaver. This is the same J4 we saw game 1, who kind of just took over the game. Didn't die game 1. Doesn't look like he's dying yet this game. He should pick up a GA next. That's what he did last game. See what happens. But he really, between the Tiamat and the Black Cleaver and Electrocute, does a lot of damage.
Little aggressive here from the Ezreal to be willing to step up to that Camille. Galio ultimate coming in on top of the Camille ultimate, and there's nothing you can do.
I don't know if that Galio was really needed with Xayah right there to do a ton of damage, but it's
They're
fine.
definitely committed to it, gets a pick. Not really sure. I think for anybody else that might have been worth it, but the Ezreal was 0-5 going into that, and now he's 0-6, and I'm not really sure that kill is worth all the resources. Urgot getting picked a little bit here. Xayah ultimate coming out. Looks like they may actually walk away. Rakan just barely going to live out the ignite. Oh, last tick takes him down. The Echo looking to dive the backline here. Doesn't quite have the damage. Gets chunked out. Backs off. Galio going down, but so does Urgot. J4 going down as well. Big shutdown gold. Ezreal ultimate comes through. Does a little bit of damage. Thins out the wave. Echo may be looking here to dive on the Xayah. Flashes away. No flash to follow.
Yep, that's the problem with the new Xayah build. You don't have Essence Reaver anymore, so you run out of mana in an extended fight. Because Xayah was outputting a lot of good damage there, and then she ran out of mana for her Q and her Feather pullback, and it just drops her DPS off. And, as soon as I said, J4 hasn't died yet, probably may not die, he dies, so.
Interesting to see that despite being down 7 kills, the gold lead is actually tied up. There are 2 turrets more going over towards Skyward Academy, which is probably carrying that gold difference, but...
Yep, and slight CS leads in mid lane and top lane, about 25 CS mid and 15 CS top to kind of counter the 35 CS up J4, as J4 is pretty large. But Trundle has 9 kills too, so that gold is basically dead even.
And that is a hard-to-kill Trundle, especially when he starts pulling stats away from that Galio or that J4. That Trundle is going to be real thick and going to be real hard to kill.
Xayah's sitting on a lot of gold. She should finish her second item and a half here when she backs. Probably a rapid fire and then maybe something else.
Xayah face checking. RW coming up with the Rakan. The Ezreal immediately shifts in and she's just exploded. Big kill for the Ezreal.
They're gonna Baron off for that. They're just gonna rush it and say, well, our team fighting hasn't been going super well, so we got a pick, and now it's a free Baron. So it looks like
they've got the Echo pushing mid and apparently looking to back in front of them. Seems to just be distracting the team. Don't realize that Baron's going down. 4K left. J4 is about to check, but they just don't know. 2,500. 1,500. Looks like they're just going to finish off the Baron for free. Absolutely no contest. Ezreal finishes back and is walking out. Skyward Academy need to disengage here, though. They have no mid laner. The Galio ult comes in, completely whiffs.
They got 2 people.
Urgot and Trundle are just
so tanky.
They're so tanky. They're just not going low at all. Pop up onto the J4 from the Rakan. Ezreal just allowed to DPS here. Ease the Camille stun. Finishes him off. Echo gonna kill at least the Galio, possibly the Xayah as well. Nope, doesn't get his ultimate. Greeds for the kill, doesn't quite get his R off. Flash W and a flash in return.
Xayah spent way too much time trying to burn down Trundle and Urgot. Doesn't have the damage for that yet, and that let J4 and Camille die. Ezreal has finished his kind of 2-item spike now. He is also a mid-game champion. He's starting to spike, and they might just be able to kind of take this and win it.
I don't think they'll be able to end the game here. About 5 seconds till the entire Phoenix Rising squad is up, but this is definitely a mid-inhib going down. Probably going to see a reset out here. They may just fall back, grab that blue buff off of Phoenix Rising's jungle, and head for the Infernal Drake. I think Ezreal's going over there saying, don't mind if I do. I'll help myself to this blue buff, but J4's coming in. Might see if he can finish it in time before he gets caught.
Huge gold swing. Ezreal's now equal to Xayah in gold, though he hasn't spent yet. So
J4 smites it away. Ezreal completely but the Infernal Drake will go over to Skyward Academy.
They let Rakan kill it for, I don't know.
Ezreal may get caught here. Cancels his back for no reason. The Rakan gets out safe, but Ezreal just kills himself.
Yep, but now he gets to go spend that 2,500 gold he's got. Pick up a whole nother item.
Nothing on the map really for Phoenix Rising to get out of that kill for the 30 seconds that'll be a 4v5.
Big wave stacking top lane that Phoenix Rising has to kind of clear out. He'll hand it over to Xayah most likely. Decent sized wave.
I think after that throw there and the Baron take, my thoughts for the only hope for Phoenix Rising are to get a big fight, catch maybe 3-4 members in the Galio, Jarvan, Camille Wombo combo, and hope that Xayah can just DPS her way through the remainder of the fight.
They have to play a little bit slow enough for I'm not sure if Zaya's building like Blade of the Rune King next. Out of that Vamp Scepter, I have to assume probably. Wait for her to finish that. Get some tank shred. They can't have another fight where Zaya's just hitting, the Urgot Trundle and not doing anything. Like, they barely lost health during that.
I think that that also as the game starts to progress, though, the Echo started off rough, but he's climbing back into the game. About 2.5 items. He's got his stopwatch still, and he'll start diving that backline. That Zyra cannot stand up to that Echo burst.
He's got a huge amount of gold over the...
Camille goes in, ults onto the Echo. Echo uses his stopwatch, is going to ult out of this, get some decent damage off. E-Flash may live. Nope, J4 ultimate keeps him in. Zyra ultimate coming down. The Rakan going a little bit too deep as well. Got 2 members going down, but we've got Trundle pushing the top lane with Baron buff. Forcing the entire team to back off. We got a TP coming from the Camille to try to answer the Trundle. She's pretty low, gets canceled. Urgot. Camille barely gets away. Urgot's going to go down to the Xayah here, but they have to answer the Trundle push.
And they just killed 4 members, so you traded an inhib turret for another 2 kills there, which is not the end of the world. They got to stop the inhib, though, which it looks like they'll be able to.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be able to catch that Trundle, but they did save their inhib. And more of their base opened up, especially with a champion like Echo on Skyward Academy. Not really sure how long that inhib will be able to stand up for, because Echo can just roll into somebody's base and not really care if they try to collapse on him.
Yeah. And really, Skyward needs to spread these team fights out more. Like, they were kind of all going into the middle of Phoenix Rising there and kind of being clumped into the smaller area, and that's where Phoenix Rising wants you to be. They need to play the scattered kind of skirmishy team fight where Echo, Ezreal, or Connor are kind of all dancing around the edges while Urgot's just being Urgot in the middle. Because when they clump up, they start getting CC'd.
If they can find one of the squishier members of Phoenix Rising, the Zyra, the Xayah, or the Camille, with the Rakan bow.
They peeled for Xayah real well that fight, though. Like they got on Xayah at least once, and their team just immediately turned back and killed the Rakan who was on her and didn't let Echo touch her.
Definitely well played that fight. Just I think the Skyward Academy roster needs to be looking for a pick on that Xayah. If they can't get it, then I don't think they'll be able to fight very well.
Nope. Xayah's finished up her last Whisper. She's going to start damaging tanks a little bit more. Cut through some of the Randuins on Trundle and so on. That is an interesting start to a fight. They all tower dive in. They're taking a lot of damage. Here comes Xayah with some big damage. Camille ults in. Galio's out. J-Force coming in to clean up maybe. I'm not sure if he should really chase this. He's going to back out. And a whole lot of nothing after an attempted tower dive by Skyward Academy. They're pretty low. I'm not really sure they should be continuing to push this tower. But I guess Phoenix Rising is just going to back out and try to clear out mid-wave. And I don't know where Jack went. I feel like Jack has died. That's unfortunate. And so, looking like after that push, they will be just kind of resetting. Skyward Academy and Phoenix Rising's gold functionally equal right now, about 1,000 gold, but when you're at 53k, 54k, it doesn't matter that much. Next objective will be Baron, 35 minutes, and then Dragon in about a minute, and the next Dragon will be another Cloud Drake. I say another, it's the first one of this game. We had a couple last game, so it looks like they're going to fight around Baron. Phoenix Rising is starting to set up, J4 is looking for an engage, and they're going to poke out this Camille pretty heavily with Ezreal now. He's got his Frozen Fist, he's got the Blade, he's got the Mirror Mana. He can poke pretty hard, especially people without a ton of armor like Camille. J4 gets kind of knocked up by the Trundle Pillar. They've caught him, but J4 dunks in. Galio ult comes in, gets a 3-man knockup. They're going to go ahead and get... Xayah's just autoing, but doesn't get enough damage out, and Trundle kills them. And with that, that's definitely a free Baron for Skyward Academy. Quite likely the game, especially if they pick up... Yep, so they've got 40 seconds. They'll pick up a Baron. They ace them completely for free, no deaths. They might not even go for Baron. They might just go for the end. They've got 30 seconds. Camille is up. Will they be able to end? I'm not really sure. About 20 seconds. At least be able to take the towers.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Welcome back.
Sorry, I'm not sure what happened with Discord. It seems like it went down. Come back just in time to see dive into the Nexus towers.
Yeah, and that would be the end after that interesting fight over by Red Buff, which is now being pinged by Phoenix Rising. Normally we would do an interview, but it's 1 a.m. So we're going to just kind of call it here with Skyward Academy coming back after losing Game 1 to take a 2-0 victory over the Phoenix Rising in Game 1 of the NF Nightfall Crystal League. First game of the season. We have at least, 20-something more. A good chunk of which should be cast. So thanks for watching. Have a good night, and we'll see you again next game.